Good morning, welcome to Sewing Street with me, Vicki Carroll, with you till 12 o'clock. We've got loads to do today. It's going to be a brilliant show. Before I mention anything, in fact, no, we'll do the early bird as normal as we start. And then, do you know what we've done? Where have we put the early bird? We've been talking to Sallieann and I've been saying for the last 15 minutes, we're like weirdly organised today. We're just weirdly sort of together with everything. We're so organised that we haven't even... Oh, do you know what they are? They're right at the bottom of the desk. Here we go. I know exactly what it is, but we were being all... I knew that it was running too smoothly today. Our early bird, and then I'll talk to you about what I was going to say. So, freezer paper. I know in lots of different crafts, freezer paper is used. It is absolutely brilliant whether you're doing any of the colour me in rolls just simply to have as a surface. You can use it obviously for applique. You can use it as a template. Because the one side of it is slightly shiny, if you iron that onto your fabric, if you iron on this side and iron onto your fabric, then it will give you a temporary fix, it will give you a temporary hold. It won't leave any sort of sticky, don't get me wrong, it's not like glue, it's not like bond web, it's not going to leave a sticky residue at all onto your fabric, but it will just hold it in place. So I know a lot of people who do quilting will make their own quilting templates. So you could do like big hearts, or you could do different shapes, and you could use that as a template to quilt around. If you're doing English paper piecing, I've seen a technique on Pinterest where they've covered all of their fabrics with paper, and then they've laid it all out onto freezer paper of where they want it, iron it on, and then it will stay there so that when you're ready to sort of stitch them, you know which one's next. You can just simply peel it off and stitch it on, and peel it off and stitch it on, which is such a great technique. I went onto the internet and had a look. Don't quote me on this, but I'm sure that there was a thread on Pinterest that said something stupid like 97 ways or near 100 ways of using freezer paper in crafts. It wasn't actually made for quilters or for sewers. It was actually traditionally sort of used for wrapping food. But I love the fact, I love it when, like friction pens, where you take something and sewers actually think, you know what, it's really, really useful. So we've put 2 rolls together in an early bird for £10.98, which saves £2. If you did just want to stock up, it's always going to be extremely useful. And these are the sort of products that we knew we wanted to get in when we started the show, because they're really difficult to get in the UK. We started by saying, look, if there's anything that you struggle to get, let us know, and if we can get it, we will. It's an American product, so especially at these sort of prices, without having to pay an enormous shipping charge, I think that's brilliant. £10.98, and you do get 2 packs of freezer paper, less than £11. You get 12 metres, I believe. 12 metres on each. So that's 24 metres of freezer paper. It's going to last a long time, isn't it? That is a lot of meterage. It is brilliant value, and just £3.95, which covers your postage and packaging all day long. And no matter how much you buy, no matter, even if you're purchasing a sewing machine today, which honestly, so excited that we've got the 570A back. It's going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Pardon? Hello, Joe. Joe Wilcox is watching from home, and he's normally our director here, as you know. I don't know why he's watching. I don't know why he's watching from home this morning. He's checking up on us. What do you mean? You want to know what I've done differently with my makeup? With my makeup? Oh, no, now you've made me self-conscious because I've literally sat here and not even looked in the mirror to see it. Thanks, Joe. £10.98. Back to the early bird. Don't look at my face. Dearie me. He always has to check up on us in the morning, you know, if he's not here. He's checking up on Kat. So it does give you some instructions of here of how you can use it for crafts and for quilting applique, well, it just says every day and everywhere. There's so many uses for it. So if you haven't already had a go with freezer paper, great chance to get two rolls for just £10.98. It's only while stocks last, and loads of you are checking out on that. In fact, we're down to 50, less than 50 in fact, which isn't going to be enough to go around, so do make the most of that. Now, what I did want to mention before we get Sallieann on, she's here with us, first time live in the studio, which is exciting. This is the quilt that we're making in this first hour, and it's had so much interest on social media. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love how modern and contemporary it is, using the rainbow colours. We've actually bundled it with the Alison glass fat quarters, which work so, so well. But we've got some ideas for this one, actually. So we'll talk through how you make it and construct it with Sallieann. And actually, those of you that are brand new to quilting, those of you that are with us for the first time, then, oh, you will love this. And it's actually a really, really simple quilt. You've just got to be a bit organised, but the sewing itself is actually really, really easy. So that's going to be brilliant. Now, I must say, now I don't know whether Debbie's told you about this yesterday. I know that she had the machine, but I don't know whether she told you about the bit of a kerfuffle that we had the first time that this came in. Now, basically, we've got an amazing relationship with Elna and Jane Brogan. Those of you that have met Jane, whether it been at an exhibition or a workshop, or whether you've seen her on screen before, she is she's the southern sort of sales rep for Elna, and we've got an amazing, amazing relationship with her. So we get the best deals on Elna. And it is such an incredible brand. When you're talking about Janome and Elna, they're under the same umbrella, and they have been renowned for sewing machines for the last 80 years. They are really, really good at what they do. So when we heard that we had the 570 in, we were really, really excited about it because it's one of our favourite machines. Those of you that remember a lot of us from Sewing Quarter last year, the 570 was a machine that we talked about. Now, when Debbie came on air and brought this on, we were talking about it, and we're looking through the manual, and it said it had an alphabet. And we were saying, I don't remember the 570 to have an alphabet. Anyway, to cut a very, very long-winded story short, this isn't the 570. This is the 570A, which has got so many incredible new additions, and the price point does not reflect it. This is a machine that sold out in a heartbeat. One day we had, I think, 50 that came in and they all sold out. You are getting this £100 lower than where we found it elsewhere. It's £599 today, and it comes with goodies, and it comes with, you know, our postage and packaging, and it comes with the 2-year warranty from Elna. In fact, we can show you if you have a look online, and this is a comparison that's on today. £699. Now you're saying, hang on, that one looks like it's got an extension table. Yep, it does. So does this one. It comes with an extension table. The reason that I actually think, do you know what, this is brilliant. The 550, it looks very, very similar to the 550. The 550's got 50 stitches. If you've seen the 560's got 100 stitches. This has got, if you have a look at all of these flashcards, they pull out with all of these stitches, haven't got 50, we haven't got 100, we've got more than, well, it goes up to 100 on here on the flashcards, but actually you've got 380 stitches in total because it has also got an alphabet. It's also got numbers, so if you want to do any monogramming, if you want to do any personalisation, this is the most incredible machine. If you look at some of the higher spec machines that normally cost you over £1,000, they have the buttons like a thread cutter. It's got it. The 560 doesn't have a thread cutter. This one does, and in fact, you can also program it. It's got the snips memory button, which you can program at the end of each sequence to cut your thread. It's got a memory, so if you do want to do any of these decorative stitches in a border, or if you want to compile sort of a memory sequence together, it's got a memory, it's got all of these different modes. So there you can see mode 1, it jumps to mode 2, which is the second flashcard, these two here, and then these are your alphabets. So you've got 2 different types of alphabets on here. It's so easy to navigate around. It has all of the buttons that we love, those speed dial buttons like your speed control, your thread cutter, needle up, down, locking stitch, reverse stitch, stop, stop. There is so much to talk about it, and I will with this machine, and I will be going into more depth later on. It's coming up later on in our 11 o'clock show. Today we're bundling it with fabric, some very useful snips, and some bobbins to go with your machine. I know they say Janome, but remember they're under the same umbrella, so these will fit in your new 570A. So you're actually saving, we say £100, it's like £140 more or less, isn't it? That bundle is worth $38.95, and that's completely free, just so that you can get sewing as soon as you can. Right, I know that this came into the system, not yesterday, the day before, and Kat, as soon as it arrived into the system, I know that she showed it straight on screen and lots sold. Yesterday, I think there was another 15 that sold. We have literally got the last of stock. I'm so pleased that I had a chance to show it to you, but I think today could be the last chance of getting it. We will absolutely make sure that we get this on reorder, but we've waited months. It was before lockdown. It was, I think, right at the start of the show. I'm going as far back as probably February was the last time that we saw this before it came back. So have a serious think about it. If you've got any questions about it, today's the day to get involved. Remember, studio@sewingstreet.com is the email, and also get involved on Facebook. In fact, have a quick look at this. This is going to tell you how you buy, and we're going to welcome on Sallieann. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page. Everyone, welcome in, Sallieann. It's so lovely to have you finally here in the studio.
It's lovely to be here. Lovely
How
to be back.
are you?
Good, I'm really good.
How have you been the last few months?
In lockdown.
Yeah, busy though, sewing.
Yeah.
You've been doing lots of workshops virtually. I think everyone's got very technical, haven't they?
Yeah, I've set up all sorts of contraptions for videoing at home and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Well, we've got two beautiful, great demonstrations actually today, both quilting. For anybody who's not seen you before, you are primarily a quilter, really, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
This quilt's beautiful. It's really contemporary, isn't it?
Yes, very modern. It looks like something that you could have seen perhaps in QuiltCon in the States. I think it's got a little bit of an American vibe.
Oh, nice.
But the designer is actually someone from Oxford.
Oh, okay. I think we've seen this designer once before. Her name is...
Louise Orth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Louise Orth. And
yeah.
she's actually, from Oxford.
Yeah.
Oh, it does look so cool. I know so many people who have messaged in about this on Facebook. If you've got any questions, I know that you've just seen the advert there, please get them in. Sallieann said, did we get to hear from all of the viewers? So yeah, please get all of your messages in. And if any questions, today's the perfect time. So when you get your kit home, what is it that you get inside?
Okay. So this is your kit. So I think you've got...
that's 3 metres of white,
yep.
3 metres of white, and that's for your background. Now, we were also saying that this would look really cool if you were to do it with black as well, don't you think?
Immediately I saw it, I thought it would look absolutely great in black as well.
Yeah.
So you just take... use the white. I mean, white's always usable for something.
Yeah.
Swap the white for black, and then take these out and make them white.
Yeah.
I think it would look absolutely dynamic.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. So anybody who wants to make the most of white, it's 3 metres. So you get 3 metres of white, or if you want to go onto the web shop and have a look at black, because this is the only bundle that we've got today. As we wanted to really create that rainbow effect, we've put it with Alison Glass fat quarters, which are perfect for this,
They are
aren't they?
truly gorgeous. They are such vibrant colours. So you've got some greens. And you can see there's a secondary, they're not completely flat either.
No.
I mean, nothing against what you've got on the wall, but this adds a little bit more dimension to overall, because you haven't got it completely flat. You've got a secondary design.
Patterns. Yeah. Now, you're not necessarily going to see all of these different patterns, but just having that, like you say, I think does just add another dimension.
Yeah, so I've run across the greens.
All 15 fat quarters. So we've got the Allison glass and we've also got some solids in there as well. But look how many different shades of green. So this is how you're going to be able to create that lovely rainbow spectrum.
Yeah. So there's the greens, and then moves into a bit more tealy sort of colour. I don't know if you can see there's a bee.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked that
Yeah.
when I was making it. Every so often you cut out a little bee. It's like a cross stitch superimposed design.
That's amazing, isn't it? I do love this Allison glass prints range. It's been really, really popular. But then as well, our team have bundled it with some solids which complement perfectly.
Yeah. So that's the teal section. I could play with these fabrics all day, I think. And then we move to the purples. So you've just got two. Well, this one's interesting. This is purples, but with that little bee. I don't know if you can see the cross-stitch bee in there.
Now, these are all fat quarters, aren't they?
Yes.
All cut into fat quarters. In fact, we cut all of these in-house for you to get the price point down to the best point possible. This is like an exclusive bundle, really, isn't it? Cut all in-house for you. So it means that you don't, because we normally only see this by the half metre, it means that you're not paying anywhere near as much. And I'm guessing you probably still have fabric left over from there.
Yeah, I was saying that I haven't cut the whole quilt. So I've cut, for the demo today, I've just cut the bottom section.
Yeah.
So I'm going to demo that. So I've not cut into any of the greens and the turquoises. So, but yeah, I mean, it seems...
Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely have plenty available. So then you've also got...
Okay, let's just take those over. So then we've moved, they've got the black. And then this... Again, one of my really liked... What is this print with the...
It's called Menagerie, isn't it, Kat? You'll probably remember better than
this one in particular.
That's so nice. I'm sure that was called
vibrant.
Menagerie. Yeah, it's gorgeous colour.
It's sort of like watermelon-y. I think it might have even been called watermelon. Yeah, it's really zesty. That one, so we're moving into the pinks, reds. And when it comes in orange as well. So, yeah, really zesty.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful. And so it's obviously not exactly the same as the ones in the instructions. Do you need to make yourself a bit of a key to get yourself organised, or how do you get yourself organised with this?
This is definitely, you need to read through the instructions a couple of times. They're very straightforward, and then set yourself up organised.
Right, okay.
Yeah. As you saw me, I was organised this morning, didn't I?
Yeah, I know, and I
all my little piles out here, and you went, you have to put all those away. Oh, okay.
I'm not that bossy, I promise.
Yeah, so going down to the oranges, and then we've got left. The same one with the little bee on in there.
Gorgeous. So you get loads of fabric there. 15 fat quarters that have all been cut, ready to go, plus your 3 metres of white and your instructions. So as you say, your pattern, read that through a couple of times. Well, give it a good read through first.
Yes. It's very straightforward though, so we'll have a look at that now.
Brilliant.
Okay. Shall I package them all up?
So I just think that is a really gorgeous quilt for £69.99. Yeah, so...
And also it's quite big as well, because it's 60 inches finished, I think.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, that is
a
value
big
for
quilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good value for money. So just as we mentioned about the black background, obviously we don't have a bundle for it, but if you go onto the web shop, then if you type in 100% cotton, or in fact I can give you the code, because you say, Sally, you'll need 3 metres of black if you want to do the background in black, and then obviously you'll have your white anyway from the kit that you can use as those couple of triangles at the top, the couple of blocks, but it's just 349.5 metre. You're always going to use black fabric, you're always going to use white.
Exactly.
So it's worth getting them home and seeing, actually, do you know what, I really love it in white, but it's going to have a completely different dramatic feel in black, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just see it in a hallway, on a staircase.
Oh wow, that'd look amazing. Yeah. That would be gorgeous. We were actually having this discussion earlier when Kat, myself and Liam were saying, Kat was saying this is something she'd want to actually have on the wall as opposed to on a bed or something. It's quite contemporary art. Whereas Liam was saying I'd have it draped over a chair, or it is something that he'd put on the back of a sofa. But I think it is something you want everybody to see.
Yeah. Oh, it's a statement piece, definitely.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, so let's dive into the instructions.
So the instructions, very straightforward. I mean, it looks so complicated. My husband said to me in the car on the way up, it looks really complicated. It's going to be quite straightforward, honestly.
Yeah.
But it is quite straightforward. And the instructions are comprehensive. I'm not used to this camera.
That's all good, yeah. That's
so
perfect.
I'm in the right place?
Absolutely perfect.
Okay. So it just goes through all the different supplies and the cutting out. I'll just give you a quick whip through and we'll go back. It tells you what to cut of each fabric all the way through. It tells you how to assemble each block. And the blocks are actually 4 inches. When I say a block, I mean just one of these 4-inch segments.
I was going to say, so where are the blocks on here for anyone? Because it's almost like a bit of an illusion quilt. You can't see where the blocks are made up. So it's all made up of lots of 4-inch
squares. Yeah.
Incredible.
And then there's a layout guide. So it's almost like doing a big jigsaw puzzle, really.
We've been doing lots of those during lockdown. Have you? Have you been doing any jigsaws?
Afraid so.
Oh my word, Liam and Joe, they gave me a VW camper van. It was all black and white, and I did give up. I did give it them back. I gave it to you back, didn't I, saying that I had done it and I hadn't. We tried. We did try. Right, so...
Okay, so Blue Peter style. I've done some cutting out, which I did prior to the show. So everything... Let's go back to the beginning. So everything, the white square is actually 4 inches cut, and all the triangles come from a 5-inch square. So you just kept 5 inches of everything, and then you diagonally cut them to create triangles. So you cut them one way and cut them the other way. So you produce 2 sizes of triangle. Let's put these out and put these back where they were. I'll show you.
30% of the kit already gone, by the way. Everyone loving this quilt. It is gorgeous. Such great value for money as well, especially as you're getting so much designer Alison Glass fabric in there. Okay,
so you're just... rearrange these so you can see. So
how have you organised them? Are they all... the colours are different numbers?
Yes, so they recommend that you actually connect a number to a colour and then stick with that all the way through.
Right.
And they give you a complete breakdown.
Brilliant. It's all in the instructions.
Yeah. So you start off with the colours, you start off with 5-inch squares, and you either diagonally cut them or you cut them into quarters like these ones, she says. Okay, so you're going to cut them across or double across, and that's how you end up with 2 different sizes of triangle.
Right.
Okay, so those are my purple ones. Put them back so I don't forget. So it really is based on being really organised.
I think if you set yourself up a bit of a production line, one evening you do all your cutting and you think, right, I'm just going to do all the cutting and get all my prep of using... It's good to use your little clips, actually. They're like your quilting wonder clips, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, so clip them all up, set them all up. So you'd have, I think there's 16 colours in all, and I've got half of them, as I said, because I'm playing with the bottom segment.
Right. Is that how you build it up? Do you do it into quarters or into halves or literally rows?
I'm doing it as strips.
Right, yeah.
So each row is like 4 inches wide, and you build... I'm building up from the bottom. I mean, you could build it from the side. It's entirely up to you.
Brilliant.
So, and she gives you a complete... There's the layout guide, and it actually tells you the number of every single piece.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
So, if I get my copy, actually, because I've written on it.
That's a good thing, isn't it, actually? You can just have a good old scribble on and make it as sort of visual for you to be able to break it down. Hello, Angela. Angela's messaging saying, good morning, girls. Morning. Lovely to see Sallieann back on the screens.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
It's been a bit of a long break. I think it was November last year I was last one.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. It's so lovely to have you back. When I say back, you've not been on Sewing Street then, have you? New to our show.
My hands have.
Yeah.
And the occasional flash of my face
yeah,
on and off.
The video.
But, yeah, it's only today that I was brave enough to sort of come out. And
yeah, I know you've really been in full lockdown, haven't you, at home? So this is we're very privileged that this is your first trip out. It's exciting. Come all the way from Bristol this morning. Yeah. But the alarm clock hadn't seen that time for a while.
No, it hadn't. It was like, I said to my husband, it's like going on holiday. Yeah. You know, when you get up and you've got an early flight, it's like...
yeah, that's the only time you ever want to get up at that sort of time. What did Angela say? Oh, she was just saying that it's great to see you on the screen. Thank you.
Right, so I've made... Let's try and make a bit of space. I don't know how much room I've got here. So I've started to make the quilt and I've made it from the bottom up.
Right.
And this is as far as I've got. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in the shop. Okay. So that is the bottom.
Oh, the colours are gorgeous.
Okay, and I've just made 2 rows and joined 2 rows together. I've started row number 3, which goes in somewhere in here. And I've got about 4 more to add to row 3. So I thought I'd make those 4, add it on, and then I'll show you how I join rows.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing. You can see all those colours already coming together. Very similarly, I know at the top, oh, you can see the bottom as well at the on the main camera, but those pinks and oranges are gorgeous together.
Right, so it really is a case of looking at it and just picking out what you need. So I'm going for this block here, so I need a 13, a 12 and a 16.
Right.
The 13 is a big one. 16 is a small one. Oops.
I like the fact, actually, you know, you're not losing the detail. I said even though you're cutting up, you'll still see, you know, bits, a few dashes and a bit of something, but you're actually seeing some of the detail on the Allison glass, which I really like. Like you said, the bees just popping through, or some of the different patterns are on there.
Okay. So I would set it out exactly as it looks in the photo, so that I don't go wrong.
It is like a jigsaw.
Yes, it is like a jigsaw. Got to remember which one's which now. I've moved them around. Goes that way around. Goes that way around. Okay.
So that's what you want it to look like.
Yes. So you start off by sewing those 2 together. You can put some pins in, but to sort of speed up the process, I'm not going to. Oh, something I should have said, which I should have said right at the beginning, is I would recommend that you starch it.
Right.
Okay, because of the way we've cut these triangles, they're all cut on the bias, which makes them a little bit stretchier than normal.
Okay.
So if you've got spray starch, best press, put it on.
Okay then.
Yeah, before you cut it out.
Right, yeah. Good idea. I don't think we've got any, have we got any on the website at the moment? It's definitely worth having a look or keeping an eye out. If there's not any on there at the moment, it will be back in stock ASAP. It's always very, very useful. I love it. I always iron my clothes with Best Press. It just gives it a lovely, lovely smell and irons beautifully. But yeah, great for if you're working with bias edges.
So I'm just using a 1/4 inch seam.
Right. You don't need to do
nice machine.
Reverse back and forth, isn't
No.
it? I didn't even pay you to say that, did I, Sallieann? It's beautiful. It is a great machine.
And to save me jumping it up for the iron every so often, I used a seam roller. So
they're a lot. I don't know how to put this. I think when I first saw them, I thought, well, that's not really going to do much to it. But actually, it's the way it's designed from Clover. They've got like this ergonomic, an ergonomic hammer, but they've also got this tapered wheel that actually does press it really well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so I've joined the 2 together, and one of the things that threw me a little bit off to start off with was the fact that these triangles actually came out a little bit bigger, but don't worry about that.
That's fine.
Because we're going to trim it in the next step anyway, so
right, so which side are you sewing down now?
So I'm going to sew down here.
The long side, okay.
And I've pressed towards one side. I mean, you could press it open if you wanted. I don't know whether there's both ways are acceptable, really.
Okay.
Right.
Is it still on the website, is that, do you know, Kat? If you type in Clover Roll and Press, I know it was an early bird a few days ago, so I'm just being cheeky and wondering whether it's still at the price. It's probably not, because it's probably back to its normal price now. Oh, yep, it still is an early bird. There you go. If you do want the roll and press, it's just, did you say £11? About £4 over? £11.99 now? Amazing.
Let's move that over. I'm finding the iron.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely give it an iron. So you'd set the seam with the iron, and then you'd just flip it open to one side. There we go. And I tend to be a fan of a dry rather than a steam iron.
Oh, there you go. And we've got it on full steam, haven't we? We're going to have a full smoking. We're going to steam up your glasses.
That's all right. Yeah, they're steaming up.
Especially with bias edges again. It's best to probably do dry iron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Graphic in for the early bird. Not supposed to be today's early bird. You know, I always say today and today only. We're being a bit rebellious today. We've kind of left the rule book by the window. We've got Liam producing, so anything can happen today. So Liam's normally our producer over on our sister channel, Jewellery Maker, and he's got a bit of a reputation over there. They literally call him the bad boy of Jewellery Maker because he's rebellious. So yeah, he says, I found the early bird from a few days ago and he's put the graphics in for you. Thank you.
Okay, trimming the block. So now is the time you need to trim it back to 4 inches. So a ruler like this, like a 6-inch with a diagonal, is perfect because you want to line up the diagonal line at 2 inches on a diagonal in your block. It doesn't matter if it's that one or if it's that one, but that 2 needs to land in the middle. Okay, this is where I just have a step. Yeah. I'm a bit low. Okay, so I'm just going to take it side and then across the top. Okay, so that is your cut edge, and then I'd spin the mat. Ooh, I'd try and spin the mat. Your mat's much nearer than mine. Ooh.
Oh, I think it's upside down, that's why. It's on the, yeah, so, I mean, the bottom part. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I wonder why that's not. Let's go in a bit. It normally spins perfectly, doesn't it?
Shall we?
What have you done to it, Liam?
I've got mine. I'll swap it for mine for the moment. Mine's well used.
We do have the rotating cutting mat available on the website.
Okay. So, you go then from your cut edge, you'd line up the ruler again, the 4 mark. And I've turned it around so many times now I've lost my way. 2.
I suppose these little 6-inch rulers are good as well, actually, because they're not too cumbersome using a big ruler trying to do it.
No. And you do get into a sort of routine of doing it. You do a few and then you know, I'd make a few and then trim a few. Okay. Okay.
So that is now a finished 4-inch block.
Yes. So that would then, she says, be ready to go in position 4 next to this one. So that's one thing, is that if you make one and then sew it on, it really depends how you decide to sort of engineer. It is engineering your process.
I think that's a good way of doing it, because you know then you're taking that time to know that it is in the right order. If you're making all of these squares, because there's not that many, you're not making lots of different blocks.
Yeah.
I'd get in a bit of a mess myself of knowing, right, where is it? You could do the end jigsaw puzzle and sew them together. But I think sewing them all together as it goes,
yeah,
that's probably the best way of engineering it, isn't it?
I would have thought so.
Sallieann, do you ever use, I was going to say, do you ever use freezer paper for anything, by the way? This is half the stock's already gone of the freezer paper.
Yeah.
Early bird. I know quilters tend to use it for...
Use it all the time for templates.
Right.
Yeah. Like you said, quilting templates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And just applique
Yeah.
pieces onto freezer paper, cover the edges and then peel it off.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep.
So it's very useful.
Yep.
It's just £10.98 and you get 2 rolls. So you get 24 metres of freezer paper. Over half the stock is now gone.
Okay. Right. I'll do one more. So we're going to be in...
So the next one along
is going to be a 15, 14 and a 12. It's going to be one of these, a large one of these. It's like picking sweets, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
So you can see from the diagram as well which one, whether it be the larger one or the smaller triangle that you need for the square.
So then you would lay it out the way. I must admit, when I first got it, I looked at it and thought, is there like a quicker way of doing this?
Okay.
But because each block is different, individual. There's no, I mean, usually you do, you know, you could do some
Chain
quick piecing.
piecemeal, yeah.
But no, not this one.
This is quite a nice quilt for somebody who is, maybe this is your first big quilt. I think this is a really nice one for somebody who, you know, I get daunted by big quilts. But actually, like you say, it's quite repetitive, really. Once you'll really get the hang of it. And also, this is a good one if somebody wants to have a go at their quilting, because you can kind of really get through all of the piecing and construction, and then you could go to town and do some amazing quilting on this, couldn't you?
Oh, you could do, yeah.
I mean, I just love how they've done this anyway.
I mean, that's very, very graphic. I mean, they've used lines straight the way through. But you could go for circles. You could, superimpose all sorts of stuff on there. And I was saying to you as well about, so it's called Fraction, and I didn't know what her inspiration was. And I did a little bit of digging around on Google, and I couldn't really find anything, but I could find stuff on fractals.
Right, okay.
Which is some mathematical term.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if anyone at home knows whether fractals relate to what we see here, or whether this is just fraction.
Oh, messaging.
Yeah, if you know.
When I think like fraction, I always thought of it as, you know, like if, it reminds me of if, you know, when glass sort of breaks into lots and lots of pieces, and you see it all like, I'm sure, is that called something like fractals again, or fractions? Messaging, you can dissect it better than us. No, I think you've come up with probably the correct one.
So I'm just setting the seams and then flipping them open.
When you say set the seam...
Yeah, it just embeds the seam that you've sewn into the fabric. It just
Right.
presses it down.
Oh, okay.
This is just neater.
It does make such a difference, doesn't it, on your finished quilt if you're pressing at each stage. It makes such a difference. I didn't realise how sort of important that was until you see the results.
Okay. So again, you're going to line up that 2-inch mark on your block. A bit closer to the edge this time. Then take the other way. Again with the 2-inch right there, bang in the centre. Okay. Then that would be the next one that you'd add on. So you could set yourself a target and do like a row a day, or...
Yeah, this doesn't need to be something that you do in one weekend. This can be something that you spend a bit of time over and come back to and pick up and put down.
I must admit, I'm an early morning sewer.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else is at home. I'd sort of like to think to myself, I'll give myself an hour first thing when my eyes are fresh.
Yeah.
And I'll see what I can achieve in an hour. And over a week, it is really quite surprising. You just, if you stick with it and go, I'm going to save an hour every morning.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, you'll be awake.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
It's like you say, once you've got yourself organised, I think the biggest part in this quilt is get everything cut and prepped and get yourself into organisation.
Absolutely.
Have you been getting, during lockdown, is everything all nice and organised in your sewing room? Are you all organised everywhere?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I must admit I am. We had a huge sort of clear. I expect everybody's done the same.
Yeah.
And then for months we looked at it all in our back garden, and eventually the tips opened and my husband was able to go to the tip.
Oh, I think everyone's done that. I started, I think, the first week, I was like, right, pulling everything out of the cupboards, kitchen.
Yeah.
Finding tins of things in there that you're like, well, hang on, I've had that for years.
Yeah, now you're looking at it thinking, I really don't need to do it again, do I?
I know, that's it. That is the problem now. It's getting to the point that it's becoming quite unorganised again.
Okay. Right. So we're getting there now. 16. 12. There we go. Oh, I can feel my glasses steaming up. I don't know if it's me having a hot flush or whether
the iron.
It's the iron. Could be anything.
It's telly sewing for you, isn't it? It's quite warm in here though. We were saying this morning, it's just so humid, isn't it?
It is.
It's going to get worse. I think Friday's 30 degrees, but I don't know whether is it supposed to be sunny or is it going to be like humid?
I don't know. My husband kept on saying, oh, it'll get better on Friday. What's better?
I know, yeah. $31 degrees and sunny on Friday. Oh no, that's a bit too hot, isn't it?
Okay.
And obviously you've also got lots of just plain white squares as well, haven't you, that go around your edge. Go around the edges of your fractal.
It does look a little bit like a flower. I mean, I must admit, every time I look at it, my brain tries to make sense of it. It's like, is that a flower?
Is it that? Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. It reminds me of, you know, the book, the Modern Quilting patchwork book that we've had. These beautiful, especially over the last few months, I think it's all put a bit of a smile on our face, seeing all of these rainbows everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, actually, do you know what? To make this quilt this year, put yourself a quilt label on it. I think, obviously, none of us are going to forget 2020, are we? But to be able to remember it with, like, a rainbow quilt, or if you're gifting it to somebody, maybe someone who's worked in the NHS, or, you know.
Ooh, wow, yeah, that would be good.
Be such a lovely idea to have as your lockdown quilt. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're making it after lockdown, but you've got all of these beautiful rainbow colours which have got us through the first half of 2020, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no one messaging in. Message in. Liam gets ever so lonely if people don't message him.
We need an answer to our fractal question.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. We need to find out. So remember, you can go onto Facebook as well. Somebody is on the, always looking at the Facebook page. Fraction. I'm trying to dissect it now as well. No, those illusion pictures where if you stare at it, then something else jumps out. What were they called? Like the magic drawings. There was a part through lockdown that everyone was sending those illusion pictures that when you stare at it and go like that and you can see these.
There was a giraffe one that I saw with this week. Did you see the giraffe one? Yeah.
I keep looking at this thinking, right, if I go cross-eyed, I'll see something different. Fraction, Liam. He's saying shards. He's Googling shards. I'm like, no, wrong one. What do you think to our new setup here, Sallieann?
I think it's really good.
It's a beautiful building, isn't it?
It
Where
is.
we are.
It
Lovely
is.
grounds.
And lovely grounds and great countryside, sort
Yeah.
of the approach.
Yeah.
Totally different to your inner city, the inner city one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hopefully it's a bit closer for you as well, isn't it, Bristol? Hour and 40
Yes.
minutes?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, with this one, with the white one, I'm just going to do it towards the darker side so that it doesn't shadow through. So, that one.
We've got about 10 minutes or so, Sallieann, I think.
Okay. Gosh, it goes so quickly.
Oh, no. Well, we were saying, do you know what? There isn't actually, obviously, it's the same block, just making sure that you've got the same one. So we were like, we can do quilting, we can do binding, and all of a sudden it's about 10 minutes.
Okay. So. Press.
Do you know what I like about this? You don't need to worry really, well, you obviously can think about your pieces when you put them together, but you're not drawn to certain points, that your points matching.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You're not having to match lots of points on here. So that's a good...
It is, yeah.
Not needing to worry too much about that.
You're not needing to worry too much about accuracy when you're sewing it either, because you're going to cut it ultimately. So, you know, the trimming it to 4 each time, it's going to help you.
By the way, people already checking out on the machine that we've got, the deal on the machine. It's literally just come back into stock. We launched it at the start of the show when we first started Sewing Street back in February, and we have been doing everything in our power to beg Jane for us to be able to get more of these. So many have already sold over the last 2 days. I understand it's a considered purchase, but honestly, this machine has got features and functions of machines that normally cost you over £1,000. So seriously think about it. It is one that I absolutely adore, and today it's £599, which is £100 lower than where we've seen it elsewhere, but you also get it with a lot of goodies as well, a little goodie pack. We will talk about it in more depth, but if you've got any questions about it, please do let us know.
Okay, so that's a completed line 3. See if I can find some pins.
So you put it together literally row by row.
Yeah. So if you see the reverse of this, so I've ironed all my seams in one direction, and then the next row all in the opposite direction.
Okay.
And then I've gone for ironing my seams open between the rows to try and sort of flatten it out and make it less bumpy. So this row would just go, I won't press it, I'll just show you how it's going to go in. So so all my seams are going that way, so all the seams will go this way in this row.
Will that help to make those points meet?
Yeah, so that's called seam nesting.
Okay.
So you would just go along and pop them in like this.
Pin at each point.
Yeah, I would pin it to stop it going astray.
By the way, those of you that are wanting to watch back Sallieann's demo, if you've got the kit today and you want to watch it back when you get home, if you go onto YouTube and type in Sewing Street and today's date, you'll be able to watch this show back at any point. This is always going to be there online. Okay, Liam's saying at the moment there is a problem with Sky, I believe. Thank you for letting us know at home. Where you're not able to record the show. Apparently it's their end, not ours, so that we're aware of it and we're speaking to Sky, making sure that we can sort it. But in the meantime, don't worry, because all of our shows will be listed on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch them still. I like that this machine has also got that needle down button so that you can stop. It's automatically stopping with your needle down, actually, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Which is good, so that you can stop and readjust and check that nothing's shimmied from underneath.
Shimmy, that's a good description, I think. Nearly there. So.
Yeah, at home you will have spent the time sort of pressing them down so that it will.
Exactly, and pinning them a bit more than I've pinned them. Just wanted to get another row in so we could...
We've got about 5 minutes.
Hold it up against. Balancing on one leg here. Yeah.
often do you change your machine needle, Sallieann?
Generally every project.
Do you?
Yeah. Okay, so that row should be so. There we go.
Oh, nice.
So
First
see
three
that it's
rows
beginning to evolve.
Oh, amazing. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So then you just keep working row by row by row. It's then got a border around it, hasn't it? So
yeah, so it's got a plain white border, or if you use black, obviously it's going to be plain black. And then I'm not sure what she says about the binding.
you could even do like a rainbow scrappy binding, couldn't you?
Oh, you could.
And that would really,
Yeah.
I think, really sort of draw the eyes in.
Binding assembly. Add the borders. She doesn't actually say about the binding. So I would do a 2.5 inch fold double binding
Right.
on there. And then hand sew it down onto the back.
Yeah, so stitch it with your machine on the front and
Yeah.
then slip stitch it on the back.
On the back, yeah.
Now, it depends on, I mean, we could do a whole showcase talking about different waddings, but we've got the queen size waddings in, which are ideal. Now, if you want to have it on a bed, or if you want to have it on, a sofa or something that's quite snuggly, this one's probably the best one, isn't it? This is, I believe, your 80-20. Yeah, it's 80% cotton and 20% polyester. And this is a lot sort of heavier. It says to stitch every, I wonder whether it says how far apart you need to quilt, because I'm thinking that there's a lot of quilting on this one, isn't there? What would you recommend quilting?
How far using that product?
Well, yeah, I think it says as far as 3.5 inches apart you can do it.
Yeah, you could do. I would say probably something different to you about, I would use that for a wall hanging. And I would use that on a bed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have learned that, because I did a wall hanging once and I put some fluffy stuff in it, and it never, it wouldn't lie flat against the wall.
Right.
Admittedly, that was wool batting.
Right.
But it's fluffy like polyester.
Yeah.
It needs the weight of the cotton to actually drag it down.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your 80-20. We do also have the polyester, which is a lot lighter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if you're using black background, will you get a loft sort of coming through, or should you be all right?
Only if if you've pressed your seams open, then yes, you run a risk. But if you've actually pressed your seams to one side all the way through, you don't run any risk.
Brilliant. Amazing. That's £21.99, and you can have a really good sort of play around with different quilting. The one that you can see on the wall, you've just got lots of straight lines which look beautiful, but you could do, as you said, circles would look cool. You could do free motion.
You could cross hatch it as well. That would work quite well. Like completely cross hatch the whole thing.
Absolutely, that would look cool. I'm thinking if you've got obviously a long arm quilt, or if you want to have a go with some ruler work, because you've got so much space there that you would see it, you could do some really cool contrasting rainbow variegated quilting threads.
Do some different colour variegated threads would look cool.
Yes, loads of ideas for if you are an avid quilter. So they're the different options on wadding. Have a look on the website, but they're the queen size, which will be ideal. So just to recap, remember the kit itself. You get all of your instructions, obviously, your pattern, which your layout guide is very, very useful. And I know that you've done all of your markings and scribblings on your one at home, haven't you?
Yep.
It's good to just dissect it to any way that's going to help you, but you've got really good thorough instructions. Plus, you've also got 15 fat quarters, which have all been cut in-house, ready to go. You'll have plenty available and lots left over. And then you also get 3 meters of white. Just to remind you, I know we were talking earlier on about substituting your white for black if you wanted a dark background, and it's something like £17, and you're always going to use your white. You're always going to use the black. So if you're only paying £1 in packaging, why not have a think about getting the 0.5 meters of black? It's only £3.49 half metre, and you'll need 6 units. So yeah, definitely worth having a think about that. There's 3 meters, which will cost about £17. Early bird nearly sold out. Sorry, over half the stock has gone now. I'm over egging it. There's how many? Sorry. Oh, 70% gone. 70% gone. So do make the most of that. You're getting both of them for just £10.98. So in the next hour, Sallieann, you're coming back with
some Creative Grids rulers. Yeah.
Amazing.
Some log cabins with Creative Grids rulers. Yes.
Incredible.
Really interesting.
Love log cabins. And also some brand new gadgets as well. So coming up after the break, we're going to have a bit more of a look into the sewing machine. We've also got lots of tools, lots of bits and bobs. But if you've got any questions about the machine, get them in and we can answer them in just a few minutes. Sallieann, we'll see you in an hour.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do not go anywhere. We're back right after this. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
To see me back. My favourite piece of kit with the sewing is the seam ripper. Hello, I'm Janice from Birmingham. I specialise in dressmaking. I used to run a children's shop and I love making children's clothes. My mother encouraged me to sew from an early age. When we were young, we did dressmaking in school. My claim to fame was the sewing quarter. But I'm now making also jumpsuits for ladies and men of all shapes and sizes, and it seems to be going for the festivals around the country. See you on the show!
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM to 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel. Need the instruction. Welcome back, welcome back. We have got the most exciting machine. I actually think this is probably the, you know how much I love the 680, and I understand, but also the 680 is always still like my dream machine. Whereas this machine, I think, is the one that I will make the most of, you know, because the price is amazing. I was saying earlier on to Liam and Kat, do you know what? I'm going to just bite the bullet and get it in these next few days whilst we've got it here. I know that you might not necessarily have woken up this morning thinking, I'm going to buy myself a sewing machine. Whereas this is something that actually, maybe if you were ready to upgrade your machine, if you were thinking about maybe over lockdown you borrowed somebody's machine and you've really gotten into it over the last few months, this is one that we can't recommend enough. It's from Elna for one. So that's the first thing that I sort of think about is when you're buying a machine, think about the brand that you're buying, because it's something that you're not going to need to upgrade within the next few years, I would say. It's something that's going to be brilliant, whether you're a bag maker, a dress maker, a quilter, soft furniture, if you make cushions and bits and bobs like this. There's so many amazing features on this machine that I think is going to grow with you as a sewer. So, thanks, Kat. We've got an amazing instruction manual that comes with it, which keep hold of. The reason being because of this. The reason I wanted to show you is right at the back, you have got your stitch chart. So it comes up with all of your mode 1, all of the different stitches that you've got here, it is on the machine, it's on your flashcard, you'll be able to see them where you can see all of your utility stitches. You've got a great array of buttonholes, lots of buttonholes. Bearing in mind, normally on the Elna 550 you get 50 stitches, on the 560 you get 100 stitches. On here you get 380, was it? Yeah, 380 stitches on this machine. So you've got some great quilting stitches, you've got some great applique stitches. On mode 2, there's a lovely array of satin stitches, plus lots of beautiful decorative stitches as well. So you've got things like a little spool, you've got scissors, you've got a cat, you've got a bow aeroplane, you've got loads of great decorative stitches. This is the game changer for me. This is where it takes your machine that is a great machine. Don't get me wrong, this I would never call this an entry-level machine. It's got so many features and functions that you see normally in machines that cost over £1,000. But to be able to start personalising things, I find very, very exciting. If you're doing your quilt labels, if it's somebody's birthday, if you want to do, I'm thinking if you're doing like t-shirts with people's names on, or caps, or if you're making anything that you want to personalise, you've got 2 different alphabets. So you've got your alphabet here, you've then also got all of these really cool little icons and little images. So you've got like a heart, you've got a star, you've got a musical note, you've got an @ sign. So I could put like, yeah, Liam with a heart, or you could put Vicki with like a musical note or something. I just love that you've got all of that included as well. You have also got another alphabet, and you've got so plenty of pictorial stitches to be able to do. It's not an embroidery machine, but you can do your monogramming. Now, to find it on the machine, because when we first launched this, we were saying, where is it? It goes up to 99 stitches. You've got mode 1 and mode 2 here. But if you click mode on the machine, the light will appear. You can see mode 1, mode 2, and then it goes to A. So that's the mode that you want, and it will tell you straight away what foot you need to do your alphabet, and it will automatically default to the recommended stitch width and stitch length. Now, if you do want to do, I'm going back to stitch 1, this is your straight stitch. If you do want to override it, you absolutely can. This one goes up to number 5, and you can hear that it's bleeping at me. I'm not going to do anything I'm not allowed to do. I think this is the sort of fear of a lot of people who are maybe upgrading to their first computerised machine. The best thing about it is that it's going to sort of, it's very user-friendly. It's not going to let you do something you're not allowed to do. So as I flick through the stitches, they go up in 10s. You can almost, I don't know whether you can see from home, but the needle is moving across. So it's defaulting to the correct stitch width and stitch length and moving the needle to the right position for you. It will also tell you what foot you need to put on. So you do get an array of things that come with the machine as standard. Feet, you get an extension table, you get a nice hard cover. So you get your machine cover, you get your extension table. So if you're doing things like, well, do you know what? I would just keep this on it anyway. It's got the pull-out leg, so you can pack it away. But it's really nice and handy, especially if you're doing things like ruler work or if you're doing any free motion or quilting. If you're dressmaking as well and you're working with a larger space, it's really handy. It's got a tape measure on the front of that. It has got the measure there. It also has a free arm, so you can pull this whole front off and use that for any circular sewing, whether it be bag making or dressmaking, any cuffs, any sleeves, any trouser legs. If you need to sew in around, you've got the free arm. And then in here, I can hear some goodies. We've got lots of different feet. So Sallieann's got the 1/4 inch foot on at the moment as she was doing a 1/4 inch seam with her sewing. That looks like a blind hem foot. They've all got letters coordinating with the machine, obviously. So that one's G. This looks like one of those little, what's the one with the brush? Like an over edge or rolled hem foot. So if you want to do that. I don't know whether you've got the breakdown, Liam, or I'll have a look in the instruction. They're all different letters. So in your instruction manual, it will tell you all of these different. So you've got your standard foot, which is A. Your satin stitch foot is F. So yeah, that was your satin stitch. That's fine. I've got F, which is that one, your satin stitch. So it's a nice open toe, so you can do, of course, your needle can swing across. I have made that mistake a few times, forgot to change my foot, and yeah, just broke my needle straight away. You've got your zipper foot. What is this one called? Sorry, it's C. Over edge foot. That's your over edge foot. It's got like two little sort of, I would never know what it is, but your over edge foot will give you almost like, is that the one that's going to give you like an overlocked edge almost? So you've then also got your buttonhole foot. You've got a selection of needles that are included. You get a blind hem foot, which is G, that one. Your 1/4 inch foot that's on there. So plenty of feet that come as standard. Your zipper foot's going to be really useful. All as standard. Today though, we're also offering it with some extra goodies. Oh, you also get a free motion foot. You get your free motion foot, plus, as I say, your buttonhole foot. Oh, the light has just come on as well. So oh no, my Lightbox, that is. I'm leaning on the Lightbox. It does have all of these really great, quick, speed dial buttons on the front. So you have, obviously, your mode button, which you can jump through all your modes. You can also have your, oh, let me check on the free motion foot, by the way. Right, I think, I must correct myself. I think that was just in the little storage box in front, but you do get all of the others. It's just the free motion foot that you would need to add on if you wanted that. So you've got the cancel button if you want to just go back to the start. You can just press C. You've got your memory feature. So this is also going to be brilliant if you are starting to build up a bit of a sequence of stitches, any of your decorative stitches, maybe on a border. It will memorise so many stitches in a row. You also have the memory button for your thread cutter. So if you want at the end of each sequence for it to end with a locking stitch and your scissors, then it will remember to cut your stitches at the end, which is brilliant. So every time I press that, you can see that it's highlighted on the screen. You can obviously just take it off if you want to by pressing the button again. These buttons here, some quick reference buttons. So you've got your straight stitch foot, you've got your zigzag. You've got this one, which is, this is the one that I'm guessing is almost like your overlocking edge. I said it was, what's F foot called? Ah, no, see, that's your satin stitch foot. Correct me if I'm wrong, please message in if you know. And then we've also got the buttonhole, quick reference point there. You've got your speed control, so your variable speed control, you can slow down your sewing. Even as you're sewing, you can slow down, which is great. So you can be doing as fast as you want, speedy, nice, long, straight sewing. But then if you're getting to an intricate point where you're maybe pivoting or doing some intricate sleeves, you want that slow sew, then you can slow it right down. There's your thread cutter. That is a game changer with this one. It's only available with the 570A. That was not on the 570. It was only on the 570A. Your needle down, you saw Sallieann using. Being able to not having to hand crank every time. That's a button that you'll use a lot. You've also got your locking stitch. Instead of having to go back and forth, you've got your locking stitch. Your reverse, you can use it with or without a foot pedal. It's got an automatic needle threader, so that's your great needle threader as well. So today, the reason that we're so excited about this machine is that we've got it back in stock after popular demand. It came into the company back in February, and as far as I'm aware, we did sort of like the whole launch for Elna. This is a brand new machine from Elna, and yeah, we bought it in February, and every single one sold out in one day. We've managed to bring it back literally over the last couple of days, and we are already looking on selling out. I think this could be the last day to make the most of the deal. And I'm not surprised because it is £100 lower than where we found elsewhere. We saw it online today, £699 was the price. Have a look for yourself. It's a brilliant price. It also comes with our postage and packaging. So if you are purchasing any bits and bobs from us today, you will only pay one P&P of £3.95 all day, even if you're buying a sewing machine. Your goodies will come separately. They will come from us, and this will come from Elna, but you will still only pay our postage and packaging. So today, with the machine, you get all of these goodies. So you get some snips, you get some extra bobbins, you get lots of fabric, 2.5 meters of fabric, all ready to go. So that's nearly £40 worth of freebies. So bearing in mind, elsewhere you can pay £699 for this. I think that is a fantastic price. Have a serious think about it. Don't wait too long. As I say, we have had so many people over the last 2 days checking out. I think there were over 10 or 15 that went yesterday. So I know how many people want this machine. Make the most of it whilst you can. If you've got any questions about it, please do let me know. And if I don't know, I will be able to find out for you. It was a bit of a surprise for us. It literally just arrived onto the system like 2 days ago, didn't it, Kat? And Kat bought the graphics in straight away as soon as she saw it on the website. So have a serious think about it, but let me know if there's any questions that I can find out for you. Right. Shall we have a look at the Lightbox, because it was shining bright, wasn't it? This is brilliant. So those of you that work with a lot of templates and patterns, these are fab. Quite often I'm awful at drawing. I'm absolutely awful at drawing. And I love the fact that, you know, you're going to be able to start looking at different pictures in books or patterns and templates and really quickly and easily trace around them. It's a beautiful quality Lightbox. It is one that plugs into your mains, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3. 3 different brightnesses. So 3 different brightnesses, which are really lovely and light. It doesn't get hot. It's LED lights, so it isn't something that you're going to need to keep changing bulbs for. It isn't something that's going to get hot. It's a natural light, so it isn't blinding at all. It's a really lovely, nice, light, natural light. But how many times have you had to stick a template to the window and tried your best to trace around it? The fact that you've got, you know, beautiful Lightbox. I really like the idea of having a look through books, different magazines that you've got, and tracing out. You see a lot of very arty people using these, don't you, who are very good at drawing, but now you can create that very professional finish. You have also got the tape measure running along, the measurements running along the bottom and the side of this as well. So it is 41 centimetres by 29 centimetres, A3 in size for £64.99. I understand it's an investment, but I think this is something that you, one, use a lot, but also it's not something you're going to need to buy again. If you look after it, it will absolutely last the test of time. So that's the larger one that we offer. We do have a smaller A4, but if you are working with bigger templates, this one is going to be ideal. I don't have one here. I'm just thinking if I could show you how you can see through. I was just looking to see, but those of you that, I don't think there will be actually. We'll have a look in any of, no, No, I think you are, you know what I mean. If you're going to trace through anything, you'll see it really, really clearly with the Lightbox. We have also got the handheld, which is a smaller one. I suppose this is great if you're planning on going to workshops or retreats. If you're planning on sewing on the move, then this is going to be great for that as well. Now, this one also plugs in with the same plug. So if you have got both, or maybe that is one that you're not going to necessarily be taking around on the move. You do get a plug for each one, but I might as well just use the same one. So again, depending on how bright you want it, that's the lowest light, that's the medium, and then that's a really great bright light. It's not bright, it's not blinding though by any means. It's a really lovely natural light, and it's not warm. It is an LED light. It'll never get hot. Depends how much space you've got. 2, if you're doing smaller templates, it's something that maybe you could do on your lap, on a lap tray, on a little table. It's something that you could take to workshops or retreats. It's something that we're starting to think about now. I know Angela Presley was saying to me, oh, I can't wait, I'm going to be starting my workshops back in September. You've just got into crafting. Loads that you can trace out, not necessarily just for sewing, but for paper crafts and just drawing in general. You can make your own embroidery templates, couldn't you? And you could stitch between them all. It doesn't necessarily need to just be for templates for applique or quilting. It could be for all sorts. £32.99, that's the smaller one. So maybe you just want to dip your toe in and have a go. It is something that's going to be really nice and portable. This one is 21 centimetres by 30 centimetres. It's A4 in size. Okay. Right, I've only seen these once before, and every time we've done them, they've been very, very popular. Do you know why? Because this is Neil's pick. As soon as I saw them, I thought, oh yeah, this is Neil's kind of thing. This is such like a boy's toy, really. They are so versatile. So in here, you get your instructions. You also do get a screwdriver that comes with it, because you might need to change your, it comes with 2 different scissors. You get a battery, one to plug in and one to charge. So let me see which one's charged. We'll have a go. You also have, I'm hoping that one to charge is that one in here. So you do get an extra one to charge. You then have your charger. Then you've also got your power cable to power it. So let's put it together and I can show you. Is it? So that screws into here. Does it come with a little adapter as well? Yeah, it comes with a little white adapter, because it is a European plug, I think. It's fine, because it will come with a little adapter as well. We're supplying you with the adapter as well. So this will then plug into, she says, that one, what do I plug into here, Kat? Do you know, have you seen this? There's your charger stand. There's your extra snips. Maybe if I use the electric battery, because you don't necessarily need to plug it in. I just wanted to make sure that it had charge. It will come with all of the little, Neil's just had a real good play with this, hasn't he? So the one that's already charged, I think, is this one. So that comes out. This one goes in. I think this is the charged one. I'm hoping this fits in. There we go. And then, yeah! So there's one that's charged, but you can use it with a plug. Now, it's designed to go through all sorts of materials, fabrics, even carpets, whether you're working with leathers. You've got a nice handle that you can really control it as well. I thought at the start, oh my word, I'm not going to be able to get control of it. But can you see, it's only the top one that's moving. So even though it looks quite a contraption, and I almost felt like a bit scared about it, if you imagine, it's only going to cut when it's moving. So these parts, they're not sharp. It only cuts at this part here. So when it moves, the way it moves, so it's fine. It will literally slice through like a knife through butter. You can do it slower, remember. You can do it nice and slow, or you can do it really quick. You know, if you're using scissors, if you can't just do one big sweep, you're going to still get ridges in your fabric when you're cutting it, aren't you? So if you don't necessarily get on with a rotary cutter, or if you do just want to use this for, I'm thinking dressmakers as well are going to love this, because you can just cut through. You have full control of it. If you do want to do any sort of more intricate cutting, you absolutely can. Probably not as intricate as with the tiny snips. If you are doing like little snips into it, you can still do little snips like this if you're cutting into curves. You don't necessarily need to just do big cuts. You can still do little snips. I'm also going to cut through. This is like a PU. Oh, hang on, this one's real leather. So this is a real leather. And once again, it's going to cut through. No problem whatsoever. Look at how lovely and straight that is as well. Not as in straight, that is definitely a curve. But just seamless, sharp, lovely, precise cut. It is more of a considered purchase, and it is something that I think, it's... Maybe if you're cutting lots of thicker fabrics, if that's what you do, if it is something that you're working with upholstery fabrics, or if you're working with, there's great demonstrations online that show you just how much you're going to be able to cut through. It does come with a full instruction kit with everything that you need to get started. But definitely have a serious think about it. As I say, this was Neil's pick, and it does just glide through. You're able to keep it nice and flat against the table, as this has got a nice straight edge. So, it's a really cool gadget, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, I understand it's £169, but as I say, if you are working with lots of heavyweight fabrics, it's a great investment because you're going to be able to cut seamlessly. It's got a lovely ergonomic handle, so you're going to be able to cut very, very quickly through virtually any fabrics. I will have to have a look and see if I can remember. I remember they were going through carpets, they were going through denims, I mean multiple layers of, as I say, leather, or if you do want to just go through your cottons, it will just go through beautifully. It also comes with an extra, another scissor head as well, a larger one. So you get an A and a B. One of them is blunt and one of them is the sharp one. The blunt one's still going to cut through, as I say. That's this one that I've got on. As I say, it's not going to cut you. It's not sharp there. It's only cutting, as you imagine, where the two blades meet. And yet it's still obviously cutting through all your fabrics absolutely perfectly. Whereas this one is your sharps one. Maybe for even heavier fabrics. Tell you what, it seems to be going through the leather absolutely fine with that one. But if you are getting through really bulky fabrics, then maybe you do want to put your B head on. Okay, I'll take this out. Now, we've got a book that recently has come back into stock. We've had it a couple of times now, and it's been really, really popular. I can't remember who told me, but we've had so many guest designers who have said to me that this is their favourite quilter's book. It is literally like the quilter's Bible. There's so much in here. This is from Lynn Edwards. Oh, in fact, actually, sorry, Lynn Clements, the former Lynn Edwards. Those of you that love our John Cole Morgan, I know he adores this book. There is so much content in here. I mean, look, it is huge for £15.99. Those of you that haven't been able to go on to workshops, or if you're wanting to learn more about quilting, this is brilliant. £15.99. Lynn Edwards, MBE, Linda Clements, MBE. She is an incredible quilter. So it talks to you about getting started, all of the different tools that you'll need, sewing tools, pressing tools. Also, what is a gidget and a gazmo? Different fabrics, interfacing, stabilisers, waddings. We were talking about different waddings with Sallieann there. It's all personal preference, you know, it really, really is. But it will talk you through again what fabrics, what waddings are going to be best for what. So, for example, it says cotton. This is finer, heavier and warmer than polyester, suitable for machine quilting, can be hand quilted. So it breaks down all the different waddings, which is useful to know. Working with different fabrics, working with different colours, the colour wheel, talking about contrast colours, talking about complementary colours, side-by-side, complementary side-by-side colours. Buying and storing fabric, pressing fabric, marking your fabric, sewing basics. So that is literally just all about, before you even start, some useful things to know. Then it will talk you through using templates. I'm sure it will mention again using a Lightbox, like what we've seen today. Drawing and cutting out shapes. How using rulers and obviously you're cutting different ways of cutting, like your rotary cutters. Cutting equilateral triangles, half square triangles, diamonds, chord square triangles, hexagons, trapeziums, kites. Breaks it all down using different technology, digital software and all sorts. So then it goes into your patchwork section. I'm not going to go through it all because otherwise you won't want the book if I'm going to read it all to you page to page. But as I say, it is a complete encyclopedia when it comes to all sorts of patchwork, log cabins. You've got different techniques of plique. There's a whole section on plique. So these are all of your patchwork. You've then got all of your plique. Oh, we love it. Zigzagged, how you can do different applique, a Hawaiian applique, reverse applique, shadow applique. We love shadow applique. We've seen the kits that we've seen recently with the organza on top and it looks so beautiful. Your stained glass. Market designs, Celtic quilting. So many brilliant techniques. Free motion quilting, quilt as you go, decorative quilting, binding. All of these different stitches, useful stitches for hand sewing as well, all at the back. Making up a project, template, useful information. So for example, number of triangles from a square of fabric. So, I mean, this is all brilliant, isn't it? This section contains some a handy table you may need to know will take some stress out of the maths. Just having the maths done for you. Brilliant. So, £15.99. If you were to break down all of the skills and techniques that you're going to learn, it's literally pence. Absolutely pence. It's got over 220 patchwork and applique techniques in here, featuring 13 projects. 7 pence a technique. 13 projects, absolutely brilliant value for money. I like the fact that it isn't just big quilts either. You've got some lovely wall hangings, you've even got a bag in here. Great techniques for less than £16. Right, we're going to fly through as much as we can now. We are running out of time. We saw Sallieann using a rotary cutter. Obviously, if you're cutting through fabrics, then a rotary cutter is a great place to go to. I'm just going to move this out of the way. We've got another alternative to using a handheld rotary cutter. This is from Fiskars, and it is brilliant for not only cutting your fabric, but for measuring it at the same time. It is a 45mm blade that is completely enclosed. So as you can see right there, the blade is not engaged. If I put pressure on it, then it's going to be touching the mat and touching the fabric. Always use this obviously in conjunction with a cutting mat. This one, you want to make sure that you've got a cutting mat that's large enough to fit your whole of your ruler. It's 24 inches long, which whenever we talk to guest designers about what ruler to start with, they will always recommend a 24-inch ruler, as you can cut your whole sort of salvage off your fabric nice and easily in one smooth cut. It's also got some great handy angles, so if you do want to do diamonds and triangles, then you can do it really quickly and easily. You've got a 60-degree angle, 45 and a 30-degree angle on there, as well as all of your really clear markings. I like that they've got them in white, but also in the centre it's in black, so if depending on what fabric you're using, you're always going to see it and show up. Those of you that struggle to sew to cut straight, now I struggle with it. I get a bit of a shaky hand when I'm cutting, and I find that this really, really helps that. If you've got dexterity issues, if you struggle with your grip, then this is brilliant because you just need literally a little bit of weight, and you don't need to be muscle man. It is literally just a little bit of weight, and you can just check almost like a guillotine really, and it will stop at the end, so it's ever so safe. It's completely enclosed. £64.99. It is from Fiskars, available today. Right. I knew this would happen. So I only heard about this literally yesterday when Laura, who was producing, rang me after the show and she said, oh, your machine's back. I was like, oh my word, I need to act quick. And I actually need to act quicker than I thought because Liam's just told me there's now single figures of these machines left. I am not surprised. We're £100 lower than where we found it elsewhere. And this isn't the 570 that you may have seen before. This is the 570A. It comes with an alphabet. It comes with the thread cutter. It comes with a memory option as well, memory option for your thread cutter. So it's got even better, more to use than the 570 used to have. It is the upgraded version. It's got 380 stitches. Genuinely, I like it because it's portable. I really like it because it's something that if you don't necessarily have a designated sewing room or sewing space, it's something that you can pack down quite easily. It comes with a nice big sturdy hardcover. Or I'm thinking, a lot of people who are going on little UK breaks or on their little holidays, maybe you have a second home or you're off to a caravan or, a static home. This is brilliant to be able to take on the move with you. Maybe you already have the 680 or you have the 720 or you have one of the bigger machines, but obviously you're not going to be lugging that on your holidays, but you still want to do some sewing. This isn't a basic machine by any means. It's got some of the most professional features and functions that you normally only see in machines that cost you 4 figures. And today it's less than £600. I still understand it is a considered purchase, but it comes with 2-year Elna warranty. It comes with our postage and packaging. Get it home and have a go. See it for yourself. As I say, the 570, I believe, I can't remember how many stitches that had. I know the 550 had 50 stitches. The 560 had 100 stitches. This has got 380 stitches, including 2 alphabets, including lots of great pictorial stitches. Of course, your utility stitches are going to sew absolutely beautifully. It's an Elna. You've got that quality. But there's so many other great features and functions with it. Just wanted to quickly mention it as I know that we're now nearing up on selling out of that one. Single figures on this one. And you do also get the goodies, nearly £40 worth of goodies. I haven't got that one here. I've got this. Oh, yes, I have actually. I have. It's on the rack. Do you want to do it? So, I haven't got any fabric, but I will show you the concept of it. So, what you would do is you fold your fabric in half and you literally put it where this crosshair is in the centre. So, if you fold your fabric and put it along this line, you can cut perfect 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches or inch circles. So include your 1/4 inch seam allowance as well, which is brilliant. There you go. You can see that you've got your 1/4 inch seam allowance. But they've also got little stickers. They're not stickers, but they're little bits that are sort of built into your rule. They're stuck into the base of the ruler, so it is going to stick to your mat. You do need to obviously still use it with a cutting mat. Oh, thank you. Right, so ideally at home, you give this all a really nice press, fold it in half, and then on the fold line, you put your crosshair on there, make sure that's nice and straight on your ruler. Then here you get a cap, which don't lose, keep hold of that, that's your safety cap. And it's got a tiny little rotary blade, which you can replace. Fiskars do replacement blades for these. But once again, just like with the other Fiskars, it's when you when you press down and you engage the blade, that's when it will cut. So there's 2 little notches that line up. So if I want to cut, say, I'm going to go for 3-inch circle, it will line up. There's little notches on the circle thing as well, which will line up. And then just check that you're all nice and straight. Press down. Ooh. Just make sure that you're in the groove. You'll feel it. It will click into the groove. I'm going to do 4-inch instead. So you're in the groove. You don't need to change direction. The blade does that for you. Gently push it down. Check that you're happy with it. I think I've done it. And then you'll get a perfect 4-inch circle every single time. So it makes it so quick. I find it really, really hard cutting curves. I find it very, very difficult cutting perfect circles. Even if you've got a template and scissors, I find it really hard. So that's solved all problems. It's £31.99 and you can cut up to 12-inch circles. You could do some beautiful quilting, applique projects with that. Just £31.99. The Gutermann box. Right, we've had a great selection of Gutermann threads that have literally just arrived in stock over the last couple of weeks. These ones have been extremely popular. The big multi-packs that come in the lovely tin, and they are brilliant value for money. This one has got 48 different spools. Am I allowed to open it, Kat? Shall I do it carefully? I've got to do it really carefully. So, you've got 48 different colours. It comes in a beautiful nostalgic tin and it is going to a brilliant, brilliant price. So you get 100 metres on each spool, great colours, 48 different colours, and we will have a look. Full rainbow. In fact, if you want to do, Sallieann's quilt, and you're thinking of doing some beautiful quilting, how about using some bright threads like this? Obviously, you've got black, you've got white and creams and ivories, going into yellows and reds, all your different greys and browns. That is a huge array. Okay, I think that's the lowest price we've done. Normally, I say we're less than £2 a spool, normally generally saying around £1.80. Per spool, you are looking at £1.25. £1.25 a spool. So, and that's including the tin. That's including the lovely tin as well. So just £59.99. It sounds considered, but actually when you think about how much thread you've got in here and how long that's going to last, we get through a lot of thread, don't we? The best thing about this is obviously this is your 50 weight, so it is your sew all, universal, great thread that you can use in your sewing machine for your piecing. You can use it also in your bobbin. You can use it for applique. You can use it for your hand sewing. So those of you doing EPP, you've got a great selection of greys here, which would be great for EPP. You could use it for quilting. You can use it for, as I say, virtually all of your sewing, whether you're piecing, quilting, applique, hand sewing, machine sewing, it's going to go a long way. And when we're thinking about the quality of our fabrics, then it's definitely worth, thinking about the quality of the threads that you're working with. This is beautiful. £59.99. So that comes with the tin as well. Who's asked that question? Poppy. Hi, Poppy. Were you asking the width of the stitches that it can go to? So your needle, how far it sort of swings. I think it's the 9mm on the 680. This one, I believe, is 7mm. We'll try and find out. But just message back and let me know if that's what you're asking. And if it is, then we can find out. Did you say the needle gauge? Okay, we'll find out. We can try and find out for you. Thanks for your message, Poppy. And that was on the 680 you wanted to know, not the... the 680 Excellence. Okay, we'll find out. But look at the pictures on here. This is 1895. Lovely nostalgic tin. 48 100-metre spools for just £59.99. Makes it, remember, £1.20 something a spool. Brilliant value. Always going to need those colours as well, aren't you? Okay. I can't actually believe that we've got any of these available. 6 left. That is it. We cannot get any more of these. This is your Winterbourne collection. I love Winterbourne House. If you love Morris & Co. and you love that sort of feel with your fabrics, you'll love this collection from Liberty. So inspired by an exquisite arts and crafts period house, which is actually in Birmingham. The collection draws upon the interior and the family who once lived there. Traditionally screen printed onto beautiful cotton, the Winterbourne collection. It's available in 3 complementary colourways. Today we've got these beautiful hues of pink and blue. So they're all fat quarters. I will open it up and show you the size of fat quarter, but the quality of them is stunning. It's Liberty. need we say anymore. So this is your poppies. You've got poppies in 2 different scales of print. It's not very often that you get pre-cuts of Liberty. Do you know what I mean? You normally see it by the half metre, or in Liberty, I think you have to buy by the metre. It might even be more than that. I don't think you can get half metre pre-cuts. So it's brilliant to be able to have a bit of a snippet into all of these fabrics, all of these prints, and yet you're still going to be able to make a lot with just a fat quarter. I think that would make a beautiful gift for somebody who loves quilting weight fabric. It is quilting weight. It's not the Tana lawn, which you, I know, often see for Liberty. It is quilting weight cotton, and it's beautiful. So that's the poppies. This is also the poppies in a smaller print. Isn't this lovely? Oh, that's Liam's favourite. Don't let that put you off. It's got good taste. So that's half of half a metre, remember. Fat quarter is half of your half metre. All of the colours just go together so beautifully. We've got navy blues in here. We've got some ochre tones. Can you see what I mean about this sort of William Morris-esque feel? This one's lovely. That's got your ochres and pinks. £42.99, all 11 fat quarters. I think we may have, it's worth having a look on the website if there's one of these that you particularly love. Type in Winterbourne House on the web shop. I don't know whether this one might be available by the half metre. There might be a few of them anyway. So if you get this and you just want to add maybe a couple of half metres in, you could make an incredible Liberty quilt, couldn't you? Yeah, I think that one might be available on the website actually. The greys and pinks, these bouquets. I won't open them all out because I know we're struggling for time. I'll just show a couple more, but I just want you to see the size of the fabrics. When you see them all folded up, it's not very often that you get to see, you know, how much fabric you're actually getting. For $42.99, bearing in mind you can pay $42.99 for maybe a small, I'm thinking like a makeup bag or something in Liberty, can't you? You can make your very own beautiful individual bespoke pieces using Liberty fabric. Yeah. Don't forget. Oh, we've had, again, even more people checking out since I last said, well done if you've got it. I'm excited to let me know when you get it home as well, because it's a fab machine, it really is. Right, they're £42.99 for all of those fat quarters. I thought I was doing really well with my folding, and then I've realised they folded them like fat 8s, so I folded them completely wrong. I'll do it later. The what, sorry? Tilde. This is your Tilde fat quarters. I'm not going to open these up because I think they're literally one of the last to stock, so somebody might actually get this one. It's £22.99, very limited again. You're getting all 5 fat quarters, beautiful colours. We love our Tilde. £22.99. This is going to go great with any of your solids as well. A lot of people have been checking out on just half metres of cream today. It's always worth having a look onto the web shop and having a look. I think maybe if you were substituting maybe the white with a black or a cream or just stocking up your stash, this is going to be lovely to applique back onto a cream or a vanilla. It's got those beautiful creams running through. Right, so I'm not going to stay too long on that as there's a lot of people who are there. We're talking about quilting with Sallieann. There's different ways of basting your quilt. So once you've done all of your quilt top and you've got your background, your backing fabric and your wadding in between, you obviously want to baste them together. Now there's different ways of basting. You can baste using your spray adhesive, your 505 spray. You can use like banana safety pins. You can hand baste. This is a very popular way of basting actually. This is your micro stitch tool and it's literally like one of those little sort of, you know when you see in a shop where they put your tags in? I don't even know what do you call it? Your Kimball gun. To put your tags in your clothes at the shop. It's just so much fun. So anyway, it also has a very, very fine needle on it that isn't going to ruin your fabric in any way, shape or form. It's not going to put lots of holes in your fabric, but it will just put a slight tiny little hole which then will pierce through these little plastic pellets, and they are the smallest little things as well. Maybe if you're turning up trouser legs or curtains. If you're doing adjustments, this is going to be ideal for that. For hem drapes, maybe you're tacking applique pieces on instead of using Bondaweb, you could use this. If you're basting quilts, as I say. So it means you don't need to pin, you don't need to glue, you can just tack it. And they're tiny, you can see, they're only really little tacks. They're not going to create huge holes in your projects, don't worry. No large tacks. I've seen people doing it with big, large tacks, but you don't need to worry about that. Great for lots of different craft projects. £24.99. It comes with lots of refills in black and white as well. So depending on what fabric you're using, for example, if you were doing this, you would do it with your black little tabs, so then you can just snip them out once you finish quilting. Thank you, Catherine, for your message. This is what she's been doing during lockdown. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love those colours. Oh, thank you for sending this in. That's beautiful. That looks really good. And it almost has like have you washed it yet? Because you know when you see quilting and it almost goes like trapunto sort of style. It goes all three-dimensional. Oh, I love it. That's amazing. Love it, love it, love it. What you're going to do with it is that's one I think I want to put on the wall. I don't think that I would put that on the bed. I'd want everyone to see that in the hallway. That's gorgeous. Thank you, Catherine. Now, you saw Sallieann getting nice and organised in the first hour with wonder clips. The amount of times I've seen these used, the quilt on the back, we always use wonder clips to clip things around the set because, once again, you're not putting big pins through it. If you just want it speedy, if you're going through extra layers or if you're going through fabrics that can't be pinned, like leather or PU, then these are going to be ideal. Sallieann literally had all of her pattern pieces clipped onto her numbers, so she got herself all nice and organised with these. They've got a nice straight edge, so they'll sit flat to the table as well. If you are doing bag making, bulkier fabrics, it can take quite a long time to pin, or if you're working with a bag that's three-dimensional, it is, I find, so much easier sometimes just clip. I know John Cole Morgan uses these for his binding. Now, somebody's definitely been eating into these. You will get 50, and they're multicoloured. They've also got little measurements, so you've got markings on here as well. They're the official wonder clips from Clover. Don't get me wrong, we've all done it. I know that you can get the sort of replicas of them or other brands of them that might be more affordable but don't last as long. They don't last the test of time. These are beautiful quality. They are the official wonder clips. We'll only bring them if we know that they're sort of tried and tested and loved by you. So definitely recommend them. They're ones that you're not going to need to keep replacing all the time. Just £28.99, get 50 of them. And they're all different colours as well, which is handy in case you're working with different projects. How many of us have left pins in bags or different things in projects, and you know that you're not going to leave these clips in there? They come in a nice little box as well. You also saw earlier on Sallieann using this. Now, your square and blocker is great. I don't know whether the Quilting Press is in stock at the moment yet. I think it's still out of stock, but this is brilliant for doing all of your pressing. If you're setting yourself up a bit of a station, I'm just going to move these light boxes out the way, 1 second. So, if you're setting yourself a bit of a station where you've got your machine, you've got your cutting mat, and you've got your pressing mat, we were talking to Sallieann about how integral and how important pressing is in your craft and sewing. And it means you don't necessarily want to get the big ironing board out all the time. It's nice to have this on your surface ready to go. This is cushioned also. So if you are pinning to it, if you're making your own bias binding, for example, you can pin straight into, it's cushioned, so you can pin into it, so you could pin your bias binding and sew as you go. It's also, of course, beautiful quality. It has been pre-shrunk already so that your measurements are always going to be quite accurate. Don't get me wrong, I would still use your ruler and your mat for the more intricate measurements, but it gives you a great guide, doesn't it? And it's not going to change when you keep using steam on it. It's not going to all of a sudden be lots of very warped. It's gorgeous quality. It is something that I think you're going to use and use and use and use. We've already been using this a lot since we started the show back in Feb. I'm thinking if you are just making sure that you're not pressing your edges too much, if you're working with bias edges, it's nice to just line it up, pin it in place, and just make sure that you're nice and square on your blocker. from June Taylor as well. So as I say, it is great quality. Okay, it's also colour fast. So if you're working with really delicate fabrics and you're worried about the ink that's on here, it's colour fast, so it will not bleed any of that blue onto your fabric. £42.99. Now, maybe if you want something to travel with, we've got this one. Now, I love this as well because it's got sort of 2-in-1. I love a design where you've got 2 problems solved very quickly. So if you are taking things to workshops, you don't want to be having to share the communal lining board with everybody, and also have your own cutting mat without having to lug around your huge millwood cutting mat. This is going to be ideal for smaller projects, certainly. So, for example, the quilt that we've got behind us, even though I wouldn't say that that is a small quilt, it's a 60-inch square, but the blocks are only 4-inch. They start as 5-inch. So cutting your fabric, a fat quarter, you'd be absolutely fine with this mat. You've also then got your pressing mat on the other side. And isn't it just absolutely adorable? Look at the sloths. They're so cute. We just love them. We haven't named them all, no. Liam wants to name them all. £29.99, and it's brilliant to be able to start taking on the move again. How much are we going to appreciate being able to go to classes in the future? Hopefully, very, very soon. I know that Angela was saying she's starting up her classes again back in September. Obviously, like social distance ones, but it'd be really, really nice to know that we can start going to retreats and classes soon. So that's going to be ideal to take on the move. A nice gift for somebody as well. Okay. Talking of threads, we've got 3 different Aurifils available. So the necessities first, which are your extra large spools. These are big. You're getting 4 spools, which have got a lot of thread on. I will tell you in a second. So, these ones haven't been opened. I don't want to open those properly because you get black, grey, white and cream, all with, do you know how much thread you get on them, Liam? Because I can't get into the spool. 1,300 metres. 1,300 metres on each spool. So that is a lot of thread. If you're working with cotton fabrics, I know a lot of people who choose to team up with other cotton threads as well. So that one's black, grey, white and cream. 1,300 metres on each spool. I'm just seeing whether we have. So this is the black one. We've been using them, you see. We've been using them. But they're really beautiful quality. They're made in Italy. They're 100% cotton. They're super duper strong. Aurifil are fantastic at what they do. They really, really are. So those of you that, I know a lot of people who only use Aurifil thread with their quilting. It's beautiful quality. £35.99 again. When you break it down per spool and how much you're getting on here, these are your 50 weight, which means once again you can use it in your machine and your bobbin. You could use it for hand sewing, you can use it for quilting, for applique. There's so many different projects that you're going to be able to use it with. It's your sort of universal thread. All 4 spools for just £35.99. We've got other colours as well. Now these are the smaller spools, which the Essential Collection or the Quilters. These are ours, by the way. We've teamed up with Aurifil. This is what I find amazing. This is like the Fiskars of the cutting world. You know, when you talk about some of the biggest names in the world of sewing, Aurifil are absolutely up there. And even though we're a new show, we've got industry experts who have been working for years and years and years, building connections and relationships with companies like Aurifil to be able to do this, to be able to team up, pick our colours, pick colours which are perfect for quilting. We've spoken to, you know, our demonstrators, we've spoken to you and asked what colours you use the most with quilting. These are ideal. Now these again are your 50 weight, so they are your sew-all threads. They're brilliant for your sewing machine, great for your quilting, ideal for your piecing, use it in your bobbin as well. You've got aluminium, light beige, yellow, olive, golden toast, bark, dark, yeah, I like that, golden toast, bark, dark carmine red, midnight, dark eggplant and black. all in there for £33.99. Once again, it is Aurifil Sewing Street exclusive. I love that. 200 metres this time on each. 200 metres on each for £33.99. Your essentials. Your essentials, again, I've got some beautiful bright colours. These ones have got beige, turquoise, violet, light blue violet, green, fuchsia. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Your fuchsia. See, that would look great to quilt the quilt behind me. Dark carmine red in this one again, midnight, mist and black. So you're getting 10 200 metre spools, all 50 weight, exclusive to us. You can't get this anywhere else. And it is 100% cotton Aurifil thread. Give it a go if you do want to try out Aurifil without investing in maybe in some of the bigger packs. That is ideal. It's just £33.99. Right, now is the time. Over the next few minutes, we're going to get Sallieann back on to have a bit of a think about the machine and take advantage whilst you can. It is literally one of the most exciting opportunities, I think, of the moment. I don't know how long it's going to take until we get more. Liam's saying we're now down to single figures. We just don't know. We'll always try and get more of these machines. I absolutely love it. Obviously, Elna are probably giving to us as much as they have or as much as they can. But I know that you can get it elsewhere. It's £100 more expensive, we've found. It does have, even at £699, I'd still be saying the same thing. It's got incredible features and functions, which we were talking through. So if you do want to bite the bullet, maybe upgrade your machine, or maybe buy a second machine, or maybe give somebody their machine back that you've been borrowing over the last few months. It's always a good way to do it, actually. If you're starting out sewing, borrow someone's machine and see that you like it. And this is something you're not going to grow out of. Not 380 stitches. You've got plenty to be playing around with here. And yeah, it comes with lots of great feet as standard, plus your extension table, 2-year warranty. And some goodies from us as well, just £599. Have a think about it. Don't wait too long though, as so many of you have already checked out this morning. And if you've got any questions, let us know. We're going to get Sallieann back on. We're going to be talking about creative grids. We're looking at the log cabin, and we've also got some extra little gadgets for you from Creative Grids. So do not go anywhere. Back right after this. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM till 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel.
Hello, I'm Catherine Wright. I'm from Leicestershire Craft Centre, which is based in Market Harborough. I love all kinds of sewing, but probably my favourite thing to do is dressmaking. But I also teach patchwork and free motion embroidery and anything to do with textiles, really. I love to have a go at felting and crochet and knitting and, oh, you name it, I'll have a go at it. So I started sewing when I was 7. My mum taught me to sew, and the very first thing I made was an apron. But I'm a terribly impatient person. I just want to get on with the project. So I didn't wait for her to help me cut it out, and I cut it out myself, and I didn't know you had to have a seam allowance. So I made the world's smallest apron, and my mum still has it somewhere. Sewing tips, I would say, I teach a lot of people to sew, especially beginners, and I would say don't get disheartened. Take your learning journey slowly. Don't expect to suddenly make a ball gown or suddenly make a king-size quilt. Build up your skills, slowly. And I would also say the iron is your friend. Use your iron a lot. It makes your sewing look so much better. It helps you get things in place where you want it before you sew, and is a really handy thing to have.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck. If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page. Welcome back, good morning. Hope you're all having a lovely morning so far. We've got another great demo, back to quilting again, and working with creative grids. I've always been a huge fan of creative grid rulers, Sallieann.
Yeah, they're generally really good. They're generally the cream of the quilting ruler.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I always think, there's a lot of people who we've met over the years who have used different rulers, and whenever we've sort of introduced them to creative grids, they've sort of stuck with it.
Yeah.
They are quilting rulers that are designed by quilters, for quilters, and I think that makes such a difference. They sort of think about all of the little things that people who design rulers might not necessarily think of. So we've got something completely different today. We are going to be talking more about the log cabin trim tool and the rulers. We'll come to that in a moment. First though, these are the first time we've seen these ever. And they're really, really interesting. Now, I'm always for something that might make your life a bit quicker, or, a little bit of a gadget or a gizmo. These are brilliant. So we've got 2 different sizes. And I know that our team have asked you to have a bit of a play around with them.
Yeah.
So I would not have a clue what on earth these are for or what they do.
Okay.
We'll start with the larger one first.
So they're both for drawing a line across a square that you've paired together to make half square triangle units.
Right, brilliant.
Okay, so the longer one just does a bigger unit and the smaller one just does a smaller one. I think
this is 15 inches, I believe.
so this is a 10.5 inch square with the longest ruler on.
Okay.
And this one is a 6.5 inch square with the smaller of the 2 rulers on.
Right, so quite often actually when you're looking at patterns, they will call for half square triangles, won't they?
Yeah, they will do. So the rulers are actually only 1/2 inch wide, and they are not designed to be used for rotary cutting. They're for marking your diagonal lines only.
Right, so you've got like a little point on the top of each of them, which I suppose goes straight into
that corner.
The corner.
Yeah. And also it's got a grippy back, which is their, can you feel the grippy back on it?
You can.
Which is, I think, part of their sort of trademark, isn't it? Because all of their rulers have got that particularly good grippy back.
Yeah, it's not like stickers that you can get to put on it. It's a built-in non-slip grip, and it's got that like frosted edge. So it will still be able to glide over your fabric, but it's when you sort of press down
on it, exactly.
It will fix to your fabric, which is brilliant for precision and accuracy, but also safety.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 2 ways of using them. You can either, so you'd use like a mechanical pencil, and you'd line it up and you'd actually go in the slots. So I'm using like a sew line pencil, and then you'd mark a diagonal that way.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay. And then you can sew 1/4 inch either side of there if you have a 1/4 inch foot.
Right.
Okay.
So how wide are these?
These are only 1/2 inch wide.
1/2 inch. So is that 1/4 inch either side of that dotted line?
Yes.
So could I draw through the centre and then draw a line either side of it,
You could
almost
do
as
if
my
you wanted
sew
to.
line?
Yeah. So the other way of using it would be, instead of drawing through the centre, is to draw either side. And of course, if you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot, this is a bit of a godsend. So I just do the other side. So you could use like a Friction or a air erasable, or
Yeah, any sort of whatever you
Yeah.
use. We need to get some of these mechanical pencils
There we
because
go.
they're great, but with a friction pen. So that's then your sew lines,
Yeah.
really, isn't it?
so if you've got a 1/4 inch foot, you would just line up.
The machine that we're working with today does include a 1/4
Yeah.
inch foot.
So you would just line it up, the edge of your foot right onto your pencil line. And then you just...
Sorry, I've probably slowed you right
You
down.
slowed me right down. Ooh, let's turn it up.
Sorry.
Up to the hair. There we go.
Oh, slamming the doors up there, Liam.
And down the other side, exactly the same way.
So then have you got that little gauge on the centre again now? So
Yes.
you've got the...
Yeah, the very edge of the foot on the pencil line.
Right.
Okay. This is when I realise I don't have a long ruler. We have got long.
Yeah, here.
Yeah. Oh gosh, super long. Or I'll probably do it. Gonna have to move it. So then I'm just going to cut along the pencil line.
Ah, see, I love that. I think that's going to make it so quick and easy to be able to mark.
And then
It's a very handy tool.
units. Okay. And the other one, I don't know if you want me to do it, you just...
Yeah.
Okay, you just
Brilliant.
sew down the pencil lines. So this time you'd have your needle going into those pencil lines.
So I'm just thinking, right, I think there's a £1 difference. This one I thought was going to be quite a bit more expensive than this one, but actually this one's £15.99 and this one's £14.99. So do you think you almost need the size that you're working with, or could I just go for the bigger one because you want it to sit right through the centre? You've got those little points to be able to mark it up quite easily. Or shall I go for the bigger size and I'm going to be able to do most of my...
I would go for the bigger size because then you can do most, like you say.
Yeah, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
if you want something that's quite portable, that fits in your pencil case, that's going to be ideal, something to take to workshops. If you're working on smaller blocks, like we did with the first quilt, but this is going to be ideal for if you're working with really big blocks, to just to be able to very, very quickly, without having to get out lots of different rulers, mark down the centre, mark either side, so you've got your sewing line and your cutting line all there.
Okay, let's take one of these really long rulers this time. Yeah, so that now you're just going to split them apart by going down that centre line.
Remember, that's ½ inch thick. I'm just thinking of different ways of using it as well. So either side of that slot in the centre, you've got 1/4 inch. So Kat's saying I could use that for my EPP to sort of gauge my 1/4 inch, just as a quick and easy little tool to go round that I know my 1/4 inch. Obviously that's ½ inch. But even if you wanted to do ½ inch, Kat, round EPP, just to be able to know how much fabric's there, instead of getting a bigger ruler.
Just thinking that if you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot, you could also, what you could do is line it up on the edge of your pieces that you're going to put together and mark your 1/4 inch line along all your patchwork, couldn't you? Or if you were hand piecing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a really good idea. So if you are, because I still struggle, I must say, with getting that accurate 1/4 inch seam. And I know you were saying it with the last quilt. It's not that you don't need to worry too much about your sewing too much, but actually with this, you do get
Yeah.
that beautiful precision.
Yeah, you would just put your pieces together and then you would hand piece on that pencil line. That could be quite an advantage. Really.
Yeah, there you go. So this is brand new today, 15-inch, which is the larger one. It's £15.99 if you've already bought anything today. And it is official a Creative Grid. So remember, you have got that non-slip grip. It is going to be lovely quality. If you do want the smaller one is £14.99. No. You can go onto Creative Grid website though. Liam was asking if they have the QR, but they do have the website that's actually on that non-slip grip. So if you do want to see any more videos, you can. So the other brand new Creative Grid ruler that we have, I have seen guest designers using before. So this is a I Love My Quilting Friends ruler. I think this would be a lovely gift for somebody actually.
I think it would as well. It's a lovely little size. It's 2.5, isn't it? 2.5 wide?
Yeah. 2.5 wide.
Isn't that the same size as jelly rolls?
Yeah, the same as jelly rolls.
Yeah, so this would be
rolls.
perfect for sub-cutting jelly rolls.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes, as you can see, it's actually divided into... let's put it on something so you can see it. A second. So you've got eighths in this section, you've got quarters in this section, and then you've just got a normal ruler through that section.
That is so handy to have, isn't it? So if you've got your jelly rolls or your design rolls, your 2-inch strips, 2.5-inch strips, this is going to be absolutely ideal for that, isn't it? Like you say, sub-cutting. And every 1/8 of an inch, did you say, that top grid is marked?
So that is eighths, yeah. And this is quarters.
Lovely. And then are they hearts, non-slip grips by any chance?
They are.
I feel like they're frosted.
They are. That's cool, isn't it? I didn't realise that.
How lovely. So they are your Creative Grid non-slip grips on there as well. So
Yeah.
you've still got that great sort of aspect. Can I use this one along with my rotary cutter?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. So it's got the non-slip grip not only for precision but also for safety. I think it's a nice size. Just have again in your pencil case. We're all hoping, fingers crossed, soon enough we'll be able to go back to some workshops and retreats and things like that. Handy to have a little marking tool instead of having maybe to lug around all your bigger pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, it's a great gift.
Oh, I love that it says I love my quilting friends.
Yeah.
That's such a nice gift for somebody. £15.99. Maybe send it to a loved one who you haven't seen for a good few months. Maybe you used to go to workshops together, or somebody who loves quilting. That's a great gift idea for somebody. Brilliant.
Okay. Right, now we're getting on to the more meaty rulers.
So, yeah, Creative Grid offer a huge array of quilting rulers. We've got the log cabin. Now, we talk about log cabin a lot in the quilting world. I think it was probably the first block that I ever heard of. Mm-hmm. Log cabin is quite a traditional quilting block, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You'll probably recognise it once you see it. But so you can do log cabin without Creative Grid rulers. How does the Creative Grid help?
It helps with accuracy and keeping it straight.
Right, brilliant.
So let's get rid of this a second. So yeah, I don't know if you...
Oh, cat's going. Oh, so I'm guessing that's cat's cue.
Okay. So now I've actually added a red square to this. You didn't send me the red square. I put that in deliberately because it helps with the rulers.
Okay.
And also it's traditional.
The heart of the home or something. What is it? The fire?
Yeah, there's meant to be something about the fire. And there's also something that I've read about where it says that if they hung them out in the Civil War, so log cabin quilts hung out in the Civil War on a line with this red centre meant that they would harbour a slave.
Oh, no way.
Mm. It's like a secret underground message.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what it is, the one that I remember always that John Scott told me, the heart of the home or something. He'll be cursing me that I can't remember. Yeah, we'll see if we can remember. So, the log cabin ruler, which one is it that you're looking at? So the trim tool or the
log
curvy?
Cabin trim tool.
Right, so we've got two different ones. So we've got the log cabin trim tool. Once again, all of your markings. It might look a bit peculiar at the start that you're thinking, oh my word, how on earth am I going to use this? But Sallieann's going to make it very clear. It's at £22.99 and it's to make a finished 8-inch block.
Yes, yeah.
Right, so you'll make a finished 8-inch block with it. It's got all your non-slip grip, again with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And the fabrics that Sallieann's used here, she says they used the red herself, but you have got a bundle with 1/2 metre of, I believe, Moda. fabric, which is beautiful. And then you've also got 1/2 metre of cream for £10, $49. I do like this collection from Moda. Nice traditional, especially when you're doing a traditional block like this. I think it works well with the Moda. I think Sallieann sent Kat some finished pictures. We've got them.
Yeah, do you want to look at them now, or yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wow.
So this is just this one, and all I've done is put it in some software to actually replicate it. So this actual design is called Rows and Furrows. It's meant to be, isn't it? Meant to be in the field.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Rows and Furrows. So that's one. That is the curvy one, which we will get to later.
Oh gosh, see, this is the same block, but just how you place them all together.
That's a different block.
Right, different block.
But with the curvy ruler. This
okay.
one is called a half log cabin block, and it looks like that on its own, and it also comes from that trim tool.
Right.
So although you're buying one log cabin trim tool, it enables you to make 3 blocks.
Brilliant.
The log cabin block, the half log cabin, and the courthouse steps block.
Brilliant.
Okay, so you do get quite a lot from one tool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good, isn't it?
So have the pictures gone now? Did I finish with the pictures?
Yeah. I think we showed them all. I think let's have a look again.
So there should be 4 different layouts. Do we show them all?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kat.
Okay, so shall we crack on and make just a simple, straightforward log cabin block first of all? Okay.
So that's your first one, the one that you've got here.
Yes, the one on the top.
Brilliant.
Right. So
this time, Sallieann's working with this colourway. It's beautiful. Is this one Liberty? Yep, I thought it was. I'm like eagle eye, spot Liberty from a mile off. You get 1/2 metre of your Liberty and 1/2 metre of cream, which complements beautifully, and it will mean that your Liberty goes that bit further. $10.49 for 1/2 metre each. Just so you know, the 15-inch seam guide is about to sell out. If you want it, check out now. We are very, very limited on stock. Thank you, Liam. So you've cut what size strips?
I've got a centre square of 2.5.
Okay.
Just double checking. And I've got strips of 1 3/4.
So there's instructions that come with the ruler?
Oh yeah, I mean, and the instructions are really, really good. So there's instructions, and then there's one of those funny, what do you call those? A QR code.
Do you know, I know somebody spotted it on the Facebook fan page, so I'm going to tell you again for anyone who didn't see. You know those funny codes? I was like, oh, do you have to download an app or something? No, you literally just, and I don't know whether this is just an iPhone. Have a go if you've got any Samsung or any smartphone. If you just hold your camera from your phone over the top of it, it will just link you straight to it.
Oh, wow.
So you don't need to open any app, you don't need to do anything. These QR codes, they're all printed onto the Creative Grid rulers as well. And you'll start to see them now a lot more. If you start going out to any restaurants, obviously they don't want you touching these, so they'll make you look at the menu on your app on your phone. So you can just go like that and look at it without actually touching anything. So, good handy tip to know.
Okay, right. You don't need YouTube or... You don't need YouTube or anything? Wow.
It will link you to a code. So you go onto your phone and you hold it over on your camera, and then it will just come up like a tab at the top, and then it will just drop down on your phone. It will just open the website. I'm guessing it jumps you to YouTube.
Yeah.
But you don't need the app on your phone, no.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the 2.5-inch square, and I'm going to add 2 strips round 2 sides.
Okay. How do you know which? Are you always going clockwise?
Clockwise, yeah. We're always going clockwise. So stop me if I start going anti-clockwise, because then we will have a problem.
The 15-inch is now sold out. Well done if you got it. We've got the 9-inch seam guide still available if you do want to dip your toe in and have a go with it. If you're working with smaller blocks, then this is going to be ideal. Still really handy. Quite often when we're looking at, half square triangles, you generally are looking at smaller blocks, so it's definitely worth potentially grabbing hold of that one. It's brand new in today. The large one's sold out. This one's just $14.99.
Okay, I'm just going to use a seam roller, and I'm just rolling the seams away from the centre.
Okay.
You can see it's slightly too long, but that's okay because we're just going to carry on round. So you could pin this, or you could... I'm not going to pin it today because it will take us longer then. The one thing it does say in the instructions that people get very hung up on is it says use a scant 1/4 inch.
What does that mean?
It just means 1 thread less than a full 1/4 inch.
Right, okay.
Okay, but I mean the reason it says that is because you've got so many seams in such a small area. So you just make it very slightly less. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that bit away.
What is it that you're trimming away, sorry?
Just the edge of the previous log. And I'm going to... Got a bit of a bump there, but we're going to ignore that. Keep going. Okay, so I've done my 2 plain sides. Now I'm going to do my 2 pattern sides. So the strip is the same width. I'm going to go around there. You don't want to get the selvage involved. You just want to do the other 2 sides.
So your right sides together?
Yeah.
Do you ever find that it can chew up at the start there?
Yeah, and if you use something called like a leader or a follower, a little tiny piece of material to sew onto and off of. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that helps. So, I'll show you that.
What happens to the rest of this strip that you've cut? Will you carry on using this?
Yes, so this is just a strip across the width.
Right.
So, let's make you a leader or a follower.
Oh, you're going to do us a little leader.
Yeah. So the idea with a leader or a follower is that you just use something to sew off of every time. It makes it helps with accuracy and it also helps with the bumpiness.
Right, okay.
So
when you're lining up your fabric here, are you lining it up against the red square again? So your raw edge on
So
the
I'm
right
lining
side.
my raw edge up against the red square, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. I'm lining my 1/4 inch. So I'm... Ooh. There we go.
Do you think ideally at home would you still keep your 1/4 inch foot on for this?
So because this 1/4 inch foot has an edge to it, a lip, then it makes it slightly difficult. Whereas if I'd perhaps used a 1/4 inch, because I could probably used a different foot without an edge to it and moved the needle, rather that would have...
Yeah. A lot of these machines, I've got a feeling this one might actually have a 1/4 inch
I bet it does.
stitch.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. So there's my... And the idea is that you just put it back in again and you use it over and over.
Oh, that's a good idea. So, because I know a lot of us, if you don't have like one of these straight stitch needle plates, I do find that mine chews up at the start of the fabric.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to cut off those excess ends. On that strip. Right. Give it a little. I'm just looking at that and thinking, is that bigger than that?
They do look slightly wider, don't they? But is it because all of you?
No.
Seems right.
Let's look. What have we got there then? No.
They're the same size.
Yeah.
Maybe in the different fabric, it just looks slightly
different.
thicker.
Okay, let's give it a press.
Wider.
Oh, are we plugged in or?
Potentially not.
Okay.
It's quite quick anyway.
Okay.
Do we need to best press this as well, or you're not working with as many bias edges?
No, not really. You're not working it with the bias edges, and also the strips. As long as they're bigger than 1 3/4, they've got to be at least 1 3/4. So you could go through your scrap pile,
right,
pick out all your scrappy strips, 1 3/4 over. Yeah. As long as you've got a straight edge to work from, then you could use those. Press. Okay.
So when you're using your ruler, how is it that the ruler comes into play?
Okay, so let's get my... So what you're going to do with your ruler, it actually says, it tells you what to do. So you've got round 1, which is what we've just completed.
So that's all strips, so 4 strips going around your square.
And what you're going to do is you're going to place that round 1 square on top of your red square that we've worked from, and then just trim it. Trim those edges.
And this, like the rulers that we were talking about before, it's got those non-slip grips, haven't they, again?
And then you're going to turn it through 180 and do exactly the same thing again. Line up your red square.
Helps for telly purposes, actually, using that red square that you can see the centre.
If I'd done it in the pink, it wouldn't have been quite so easy to follow. And there you go, that's your first round.
Right, amazing.
Okay. So,
how many rounds are there to a log cabin?
So there's 3 complete rounds.
Okay.
So we'll keep going now. So the last one I put on was this one. So the next one I'm going to put on is this one.
Right, if I want to go out, or the phone rings or something, and I'm like, right, which was the last one that I'd sewn? Is there a way of
you can tell. You can tell. Because it's a complete seam, whereas everything else is partial.
Ah, that makes sense.
Complete seam.
Okay.
Okay. So keep going. So I'm going to get rid of the selvage.
Can you hear her singing?
Yeah.
Cat's in the in our little gallery on the side of the studio. It's all a lot closer than the last time that. No, it's just down in the cellar.
I think I unplugged the sewing machine rather than...
Oh, we're plugging your iron in.
Yeah.
Your husband's ever so good, by the way, isn't he? Coming as a roadie.
Roadie, yeah. He carries the bags.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Did he do all the driving as well?
Yep.
Oh, gosh, that is good this time in the morning.
I've got him trained.
Yeah.
The only tricky thing with this is because you're constantly pressing the seams out, that when you've got like a little lip on your sewing machine and they've all got them, it's getting it to lie flat at that point.
Right.
Right.
It might be just sometimes like you're doing, readjusting under the machine and stopping and starting. I always feel that when I'm sewing, I always hold my breath and forget that I can stop.
Yeah.
And actually my foot is in control of it and just stop, and the needle down option's brilliant because you can just stop and reposition. Whereas I'm like, I'm going, and can't stop.
I know exactly what you mean. I've sort of taught people over the years, and you're watching them and you go, and breathe.
Yeah. I forgot that. That is what I need to do as a human. It's supposed to be enjoyable, isn't it?
Ooh. Okay. So I'm consistently pressing them out towards the edges of the block.
Have you been doing many projects during lockdown?
A few.
Finished any unfinished projects?
I've finished a few.
Oh, that's good.
I've definitely finished a few. I don't know, it's been a funny time. I don't know whether some days I really haven't, I don't know. At times you know, I expect, like everybody else, I've been a bit low, you know, and you think, I don't know. I don't know whether my sewing mojo has left me.
Oh no!
But generally find that it makes me feel better. You know, it's a therapy.
Oh, it is.
And I think it is a lot for a lot of people.
I find it's ever so mindful, and I suppose when you're doing a project like this, you're using that concentration, so everything that's going on in the world just escapes you for that time.
Yeah.
And it is really important to have that time. And it has been sort of proven, but this is why Steve Bennett, who started our show, this is why he really championed One Spring Sewing Street, was because of that mindful aspect.
Yes.
Because it's so important for us to have, you know, our sister channel Jewellery Maker, something that's just mindful and we can just lose ourselves in. There are lots of people that have got into it for that reason.
Yeah. My only downside has been that, so I tend to listen to the radio.
Right, okay.
And every so often they'd have an advert or some, you know, something about the pandemic. And
Yeah.
I think, I really don't want to hear that. I want to sit here and sew and not be reminded every so often.
Started listening to podcasts actually. It's something I haven't done before, and that's quite good.
I've done that as well. Because that's quite nice. Yeah, and there's no adverts then, look.
Yeah. So is this the last part of this next round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're ready to trim. So I'm just trimming off these bits because they just add bulk. It's a little messy.
The seam roller, just a reminder, we did showcase it in the first hour and it is still available at an early bird price until the management find out. So if you want it £4 lower today, it's $11.99, saving of £4. That was only because Sallieann came in with hers today and said, oh, I'm using a seam roller, do you have one here? And who was here? Was it you, Kat, during the... Yeah, Kat was here during that show. So I remembered it was an early bird, so we've had a sneaky look and it's still there. Oh, nice.
Okay.
It looks beautiful in Liberty as well, I must say, the contrast.
So now you're ready for round 2. So this time you're going to...
It's a different square to the first one that you looked at.
So it's not this one, it's this one. And it actually clearly says round 2.
Brilliant.
So you're just going to put your red square under there. And trim.
Are you a bit cooler in here now, by the way?
Yeah.
Is it blowing cool onto you?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Kat was saying that for some reason our aircon had been turned off at the wall, so we wondered why it was getting so warm in here. It wasn't you just having a hot flush, or it wasn't the iron making you steamy. I think it was our aircon was turned off at the wall.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. On this second round as well, I don't know if you can see on the camera that you need to be sort of lining up your seams as well with the...
Gosh, they thought of everything, haven't they? So you're not just lining up that centre middle.
No, you can begin to line up the seams as you work your way out.
Brilliant.
Which helps, again, keep your accuracy.
It's quite nice using these rotating cutting mats, you know. I think that's really, again, speeding up time and helping, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm on tiptoes here.
These desks are ever so tall, aren't they? I'd say we haven't... I don't think Debbie's very... How tall is Debbie, Kat? She said, I don't know. I think she's a bit taller than us, Sallieann, but... We always find these workbenches are tall, aren't they? We need to get you a step.
Okay.
Yeah, during our new set, we'll make sure that we get that. Might have new tables with steps and things.
Okay, so let's find the last one we put on.
Okay.
Put on the... I've got one already started. So yeah, I've just cut myself a load of strips to start off with.
Nice. How much, you know, if you were to just get your ½ metre of each, will you be able to put together a few blocks to be able to do, say, if you were to do 4 blocks, this would make a lovely cushion. And I suppose, depending on how you lay them out, it's going to look completely different, isn't it?
Yeah. if you go somewhere like Pinterest and look at log cabin blocks, there's be loads and loads of different examples of ways you can actually lay them out.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like we say, it's probably one of the most traditional blocks, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the final round.
Could you just keep going and going and going?
Yeah, you could do, but obviously you get
the ruler.
Not with the ruler.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because you'd end up bigger than the...
Yeah, what a silly idea, Kat. Oh, she's going. Does your machine have one of the thread cutters at home?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so useful, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
The 570 was always one of my favourite machines anyway, but it didn't have a thread cutter. And I think that a lot of guests have said, oh, if they haven't got a thread cutter, oh, this is nice, oh, this is nice. But I think when you're so used to having one, you don't know how to survive without one, do you? You're like, hang on, how do I do this?
Yeah.
It's so limited now. I know I sound like a broken record going on about it, but I think it's because today's the only day I'll be able to talk about it, if I'm being honest. It's we've always loved the 570, but the 570A has got that thread cutter. It also does have a memory, so that if at the end of each scene you want to cut the thread, you can simply press it. So again, it saves you having to even press the button. Little things like that, it's just brilliant. It also has an alphabet, which is a new addition to the 570A, is that you've got an alphabet as well. You've got 2 alphabets on there. It's nice to be able to personalise things, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. And also for like labels,
yeah,
you know?
quilt labels, absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, last one. It's getting rid of that selvage. She's singing again.
Oh, they're always singing. They're too happy here. Jewellery Maker, who are our sister channel, who share the office with us, they always get ever so annoyed with us because we're all so happy here. They're like, you can tell you guys are new to this. Only set up here in February. I was like, no, but we've all known each other for actually years and years. They're like, you all get on too well here. You're all too happy singing and dancing all the time. They'll miss us when we're gone. When we're in our new fancy studio towards the end of the year, we said, are you going to miss us? And they said, well, what are we going to do without us? And they've said, we'll listen to our own thoughts. We'll be able to concentrate on our job.
Iron.
Is it important to press at every scene?
Every round, I would do.
Every round?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would use the roller between rounds.
Yeah.
And then just press.
Again, a dry iron?
Yeah, I'm a fan of a dry iron.
It's because you're into your dressmaking, Kat. That's why you like it steamy.
Okay. So now we're at the final round 3. So you can see you need to line up your seams and your red square, and you put your red square right into the round 3 box. And breathe.
Lots of people making the most of the log cabin trim tool. We do have the curvy one available as well, which we'll have a look at in a second. What's the time? Sorry, Kat. We've got about 20 minutes with you, Sallieann.
Okay. Okay, so there is your log cabin.
Amazing. And so if you were to start to put that, if you put them sort of the fabric side to fabric size all together, you get like the pattern in the centre, don't you?
Yeah,
So
you
if you were to stitch them that way, obviously, yeah, it would still look all contrasting. That's it.
Yeah,
like
that's it. That's it.
So then if you were to put your next two at the bottom, you can imagine exactly what it's going to come together with. So just a quick recap as well. Remember, that is your trim tool that you're getting, and it's enough to do your 8-inch square block. The two fabrics that Sallieann was using, the Moda option, which was 1/2 metre of Moda and 1/2 metre of cream, is £10.49 whole metre, and it is beautiful quality Moda. Remember, that's your 1/2 metre of Moda. We've also teamed it with 1/2 metre of cream. I wonder whether, if there's any more of that available on the web shop, 1/2 metre will still be enough to do good few blocks, I would say. Would you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've then also got your Liberty option, which is the other design one. Again, £10.49, 1/2 metre of Liberty and 1/2 metre of your cream, 1 metre of fabric for just £10.50. We do have two of the solid bundles. They look equally gorgeous as well. These are nice colour combinations. The corn yellow and is it magenta? These are beautiful colours together. They look great, don't they? I was quite sceptical when I saw it on the little pictures, but actually together, that works nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good contrast, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just £6.98 as well. So if you do want to try it out, our solids are beautiful quality. They really, really are. They're Rose and Hubble, 100% cotton fabrics, quilting weight. So that's £6.98. And then the blue and the pink. Sky and raspberry. These are lovely as well. They go really nicely with the quilt that we had at the first hour. £6.98 for your two colours together. Just 1/2 metre of each, sky and raspberry. Brilliant. So we're going on to the curvy. Now, curvy log cabin, I can't even imagine what that sort of looks like. It's not curvy like this, is it?
No. So it will make circles. I don't know if you've...
Yeah, we'll find a picture again to show you. So there is actually pictures on the ruler itself that you can see what it makes up.
Okay, so back in August last year, I had a student, Sharon Khan, and here is what she made with the curvy log cabin ruler. Those are slightly smaller. Those are 6-inch, but she made hers into a table runner.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
Great in rainbow fabric as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you can make it into a circle. You can still do it...
You can make it into a circle, a half circle.
Okay.
One of the cool things, I'm getting over excited now. One of the cool things I saw this morning was someone had used you can use 2 half circles, so 2 quarter circles together, like this, back to back, and then 2 ordinary log cabin units underneath, and it looked like an ice cream cone.
Oh, that's cool. Where did you see that?
If you go onto YouTube and look under Creative Grids, they've got like a whole range of patterns where they combine different rulers.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
This is what I love about Creative Grids as well. They've got a really good online presence, haven't they? They've got so many videos. And obviously, because they're so world renowned, lots of people share their inspiration and different quilt ideas. So even though they are, Creative Grids, they are a ruler, it's not just for one project. It's not just for one block. The reason they're called Creative Grids is you can get creative. That sounds so cool to be able to mix the two together. Brilliant. So we're having a go at the curvy one.
We're having a go at the curvy one. The curvy one works in the same way. The main difference is there are narrow strips. I don't know if you can see that there are narrow strips.
And let's just bring it a bit towards you. Sorry, Sallieann. Thank you. That's perfect.
So there's narrow strips and wide strips.
Okay.
Which is what creates, so the curve is coming here. So you can have the other thing you've got to think about is you can have a positive sort of negative thing going on here. So if I had the coloured fabric here, then I'd end up, just what I mean, depends where you place the light dark.
Do you always want to use 2 contrasting colours for this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. 2
2 contrasting colours. One always goes one side and the other goes the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I've just put the red square in so that I know.
Yeah, your centre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you start off by cutting a centre in the same way as with the log cabin tool.
Is this again an 8-inch block finish?
Yeah, this would be an 8-inch block finished, and this is a 1 3/4 centre square. And the strips the narrow strips are 1 1/2 inches wide, and the wide strips are 2 1/4 inches wide. And it starts off in a little bit of a strange way. You have to mark your red square. So on here, you need to actually mark in the seam guide. So again, you could use a pencil. I don't know whether you could use a Friction. Probably not.
Okay.
So you're just going to mark in 4 little spots, and that's your seam guide.
Oh, that's handy. That's sort of everything. This is when we say they're designed by quilters for quilters, so they've thought of that.
Okay, so if we start off with the wide strips. So I'm going to attach 2 wide strips. She says. And I want to sew through those pencil lines. Sort of pencil dots, sorry.
So you're stopping on the pencil dot there?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry, I'm not. I'm going off the edge.
It, right.
Cut it off exactly the same way. And then press it outwards. Then I think I'm going clockwise. Add the next one. So I might cut that off actually to hang on, I've got this upside down.
Oh, you need to be...
yeah, I need to be that way up.
Why is that?
Because I need to be able to see the edge of that piece.
Oh, okay.
So... okay. So, let's get rid of that bit. Just gonna my seam roller.
I just find this is a nice block for beginners as well, isn't it? Especially with the ruler, I think it's going to really hold your hand all the way through and give you the accuracy.
Safety of the ruler, yeah.
And also teach you about the accuracy of how important it all is, but hold your hand through it. So the ruler, by the way, this is the curvy log cabin one, is £22.99. It isn't one that you're just going to use for a project. I think it's going to be a really great ruler to start designing your own projects as well.
Okay, so... Okay, so what you're going to do now is line up. I thought you've only added 2, but you need to straighten off these before you add the narrower strips. So you're going to take that off, and that off, and then you're going to continue.
And you keep that 1/4 inch seam then, don't you, over the edge?
Yes. Okay.
What are you thinking? I can hear your cogs clicking round.
Yeah, I'm just triple checking that I've got it in the right place. Now I need to trim off back to there. There we go.
Ah, so no, you don't need that 1/4 inch hanging over.
No.
There we go.
Okay, let's put the...
You do, but it's in there, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's put the narrow ones on now.
We've got about 12 minutes.
Okay.
There's a 9 inch Creative Grid one available still. Oh, okay. Just remember the 15-inch one has completely sold out. We've actually had more stock of the 9-inch one. There's still availability of that one at the moment. We saw it at the start of the show. Do have a look at back onto YouTube as well if you want to watch at the start of this hour. Really, really handy little gadget, and it's £14.99 for marking up your half square triangles. Mark them out so you know your cutting line and your sewing line. Really handy. It's half an inch thick, so it's a nice little gauge as well, I think, to have for just in your pencil case. £14.99.
Okay. Right. Let's find the.
So you again pressing the seams away from
the centre, yeah. Okay. Make sure we're.
It's handy to keep those instructions, by the way, because I think when you first get the rule, you almost think that it's just a little leaflet that comes with it, like a pamphlet that tells you a few things, but actually it opens out into full instructions, so it is really handy to have. And there's some great ideas on there as well of quilt ideas and how it's going to look.
So we're going to trim off the narrow.
So now you, again, like the first time, you've put it into round one.
Yeah.
Centre square.
Then you're going to turn it. Where's the wide gone? Wide round one, there you go.
Ah, so there are two squares for round one.
Yes, so there's, you're flipping the ruler from one side to another, so you've got a narrow side and a wide side.
Right. I'm with you. So wide side is your wider strips, obviously, which in this case are your Liberty.
Yep. Okay, so that's your beginning. And then it's very much like the other log cabin that you just continue going around in a clockwise direction.
And then on the
trimming,
ruler, there's different.
Yeah, and trimming, so it gives you the wide trim and the narrow trim.
Okay. And that's for all three rounds?
Yeah, so that goes up through all three rounds.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
And I love that, if we have a look on the instructions as well, the ideas of how do you start to bring them together to create that quilt that's on the right-hand side there?
So if you look at that, so can you see? So that circle would be 4 of those.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
And this one looks like it would be, so that one would be that one. That one there would be this one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you'd rotate it this way for the next one.
Ah, okay.
And then this way for the next one.
It gives you such great inspiration of different ways of using it, because straight away when you look at the ruler, you wouldn't imagine that you could create something like that.
Something with a curve in it, yeah, it's incredible. And this one, there is a design, you know, on the Creative Ribs rulers, and it's called Wiggly Worms, I think.
Wiggly Worms, which is brilliant, isn't it? Because if I were to see that, I'd think, right, I'm scared of curves, I'm going to avoid that at all costs. But actually, there's not a curve in it. It just gives you
that illusion. Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But anything else that you wanted to mention with it?
No, I don't think so. It's great fun. I mean, once you get the hang of the ruler, you've done a couple, you just get into a swing, then you get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't mention at the beginning, which you could do, is you could chain piece.
Okay.
So to start off, you could sew like 6 blocks and 6, centres, with one strip on, and then do the same thing with the next strip and the next strip and the next, so a production line sort of process.
Right, brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just chain piece and it will come together really quickly then.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
They look beautiful in those colourways. Right, thank you ever so much. The ruler, remember, the curvy one is £22.99. I do love that it's all very clear, almost like your instructions are on the ruler itself. So it says at the top here, cut narrow strips at least 1.5 inches wide, cut wide strips at least 2.25 inches wide. So it actually says that on, don't throw away your instructions because there's great instructions on there, but it does also have lots of instructions on there. That's just £22.99. We also have this one, which is like your traditional log cabin block, really, isn't it? But again, remember, it gives you 3 different block ideas. It will give you the first one, which was your log cabin, then you also can do your half log cabin, and then you can also do your courthouse steps, which is a really lovely block. But as Sallieann said, go onto Pinterest and have a look, type in these blocks, because they're very famous blocks. They're not creative grid blocks. They've got lots of different examples of just placing your fabrics and working with different colours. How it can change the look completely.
And also combining the 2 blocks. I thought that was a really good idea. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, and those of you that have started to build up different creative grid rulers, then that's a great way of trying to mix them all together, getting a bit creative as well. Also, we launched this little gorgeous ruler, which is so cute. It's called I Love My Quilting Frames, and it's so lovely. It's from Creative Grids. They've got little hearts that are non-slip grips. I've never seen that with Creative Grid before. And real key measurements, actually. So you've got 1/8 of an inch grid. Would you say that's quarter of an inch? And then also your full inch. Which is brilliant, isn't it? I think that's a lovely gift for somebody, a friend that's a quilter. And it is still your nice thick acrylic, so you can still use this in conjunction with your rotary cutter. It's just £15.99. I suppose, don't get me wrong, the 24-inch ones and the different ones have all got uses. But sometimes if you're doing small little half-square triangles, you don't want to get your huge ruler around.
Sometimes it's the little one that you use the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And great to be able to know that you can use that with your rotary cutter. That is, in fact, the sort of smallest one that I've seen, so it's ideal to have a go with that. £15.99. Also, when we first started the hour, we launched some new little gadgets. The larger one's now completely sold out, but the seam guide, this is the 9-inch seam guide, and it is just £14.99. It's got the little holes through the centre for you to mark with a pencil or a friction pen, mark through your markings. Put it through the centre, and then you can obviously have the lines then for your cutting line and your sewing line. £14.99. All of the different fabrics, by the way, are on the web shop, as well as loads of other fabrics on there. When are you back next?
Or middle of August. I can't remember the exact date.
Mid-August.
Yeah.
So
will you still be here?
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, okay.
It's just taking a bit longer with everything that's going on in the world. Hopefully. I don't want to put any pressure on it, but I'm going to. I think that by September, fingers crossed, we will be in on his studio, but you just never know. These things take a bit more time. There's a lot going on behind the scenes anyway to get us there. But we'll see you in mid-August anyway. We'll be back here. It's been so nice to see you.
Yeah, it's been nice to be back.
It's been nice to be out of it, hasn't it? It's strange, but nice to be out. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. And thank you to a lovely husband as well for
bringing
escorting you up here. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do not go anywhere. We've got fabrics, and more fabrics. Plus, we're going to be recapping the 578 right on the other side of it.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette, and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and Gemporia.com.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @SewingStreet. We have Facebook. We've got 2 Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All 3 of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those 3 and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Hi there, my name's Alison Marion and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire where I run a couple of sewing groups and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
Christmas is going to be here before we know it, and as with every year, we want to make sure that we get our makes ready in time for gifting on the big day or for decorations in the lead up. We're here to help with our Christmas make shows, starting with our 3-day event on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August, and we'll be live for 5 hours each day too. Expect lots of festival quilting, FPP, dressmaking and needle felting to make all your decorations, advent calendars, cushion covers and so much more. We'll have our expert tutorials from some of our favourite guest designers and a fabulous competition exclusively for our Sewing Street family. Keep your eyes peeled on our email newsletter, Facebook and Instagram for more details in the run-up. And don't forget to tune in from 8 AM till 1 PM on Friday the 31st of July until Sunday the 2nd of August on Freeview Channel 74, Sky 670 or on our YouTube channel.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Welcome back. Oh, it was so lovely to see Sallieann back. I know that she was ever so nervous at the start. She says, I've not been out of the house since March. She says, so it was really lovely to see her and get her back to sewing, especially when she said she feels like she's lost a bit of sewing mojo. So it was really lovely. Thank you for all your lovely messages for her. We've got so much to bring you now. Lots of fabric, stock up our stash, some beautiful bundles as well, which are great along with designer fabric. We always talk about using a designer fabric and complementing it with a solid fabric to make it sort of more cost effective and really make your designer fabric sing as well. So that's what we're going to be doing this hour. We've got some gorgeous books, some inspiration, and also for anybody that is potentially at the point of upgrading their machine, getting a second machine, whether you are maybe borrowing somebody's machine that you've had during lockdown and you've dusted off an old sewing machine that isn't a computerized one and you now want to sort of upgrade to the new one. The reason that I've spoken about this all morning is because it's come into stock literally 2 days ago and we are going to wipe out all of our stock, I think, today. We are now less than 10 available. It is a considered purchase, but when you're looking at sewing machines and purchasing a great sewing machine, the first thing I'd look at is the brand. Yes, you can buy machines that are, you know, £100, £200, £300, whatever, and they're nice machines, but does it have the features and functions that are going to give you the sewing results that you want? This machine for me literally ticks every single box. So, I mean, the instruction manual, I almost feel like, I don't know whether it's, anyway, in my house, if we pick up the instruction manual, you've almost failed before you try and do flat pack furniture just without almost doing it. But what I love about this instruction manual is that it's really, really user friendly. So I just wanted to flick through a few of the pages just to show you the features and functions of the Elna 570A. Now, you may have heard of the 570 before. This is, remember, the A edition, which is the upgraded version, which has lots of brand new features and functions that weren't initially on the 570. So it talks you through the essential parts of the machine in real great detail. So you can, you know, you're not going to be left with all this jargon and you're not sure what part, you know, what the part of the machine is called. Your standard accessories, so it's got a great array of accessories that come as standard with it. It starts with a zigzag foot, which is your A. It's normally just comes as it is on the machine and it looks like this. It's really, really easy to change between your feet. It literally just clips in and out like that. So there's a little button on the side. You drop the lever onto the foot, which sits onto this bar here, and press it in and it simply removes. So it's really quick. I'll show you in a minute. So you get that as standard. You also get your zipper foot. If you are starting to do bag making, dress making, then these are fantastic cushions. You want to do zips, you've got your zipper foot. So you can get really, really close to that, to the zip. You've also got your buttonhole foot. Looks like this. You also have your stabilising plate holder. You're getting your blind hem foot, which has got like a guard that runs down the middle of it. So you know when you turn up your trousers, but you don't see the stitches from the front of your trousers, that's what a blind hem seam is, and it's really fancy. You can do it on this machine nice and easily without having to it can be quite complicated without one of those. You also have your over edge foot, which is G. It does say G on it. It's not that one, it's that one. It's got a little brush on it. You also have your 1/4 inch seam foot. You saw Sallieann using it. It's got the little gauge, but if you don't recognise which foot you need to use, they're all labelled. So that one's got A. You got your spool holder. You got a large one as well. So if you're working with larger spools, that's handy to have. You get 2 of those. You also get 2 of the smaller ones. You get an extra spool pin if you want to do twin needling, I'm thinking. That's good. You also have an assortment of needles, machine needles ready to go. You got your seam ripper or your buttonhole opener. Lint brush screwdriver, your reference stitch chart. So let's go to that one. Your instruction book, large extension table, hardcover, foot control and power cable, all included. Your extension table slots on, literally when you've got your free arm out, you can slot that on. If you have got a designating sewing space, leave it on. It's not going to do any harm, and it means you've got that extra bed space. But if you are doing things like ruler work or free motion quilting, it is something you need, and that can cost quite a bit extra actually to add an extension table in, and it comes as standard. The price point on this machine is amazing. It's £599. I'm going to go through more of the features and functions, but just as a quick price comparison, we've had a look online this morning and we found it elsewhere at £699. Ours is £100 cheaper, and I haven't got my goodies here, but you also get goodies as well. So you also get some fabric, some extra bobbins. You also get some lovely little snips, all included as well in the price. Thank you, Kat. So you also get some of your Genome plastic bobbins, your little snips, and your fabric as well. That's for free. And normally that is £38.95 if you were to add them up. So that's just for free today. If you're purchasing, by the way, these will come from us. This will come from Elna, all under the same postage and packaging, but this will come from Elna, this will come from Elna, and obviously these will come from us. It might be slightly different times, that's why I'm saying. Because you'll get your goodies home and you'll think, hang on, where's my machine? But they won't come together in the box, just so you're aware. That's from us, a little prezi from us. So going back to the machine, it talked about your stitch reference chart. So a little pull-out, nice handy guide at the side here, which you can easily navigate through modes 1, which are these 2 cards you can see on the side here. Very, very easy. You click mode and it will take you from mode 1 to mode 2. It lights up, so you can see it's now on mode 2. If you want to select, for example, on mode 2, number satin stitch, let's do a satin stitch at 30, number 33, which is a satin stitch. It goes up in 10s, so you go, 10, 20, 30, 33. It will automatically default to the the recommended stitch width and stitch length. It will tell you what foot you need. So for this, it will tell me to put on my foot F, which is your satin stitch foot, which looks like that one. So it will enable the needle to swing across. Literally put that on, press a foot down, and it will just clip into place really nice and easily, she says, from this angle. So that will literally just clip on. Oops. I'm trying to do it awkwardly. There we go. So that's clipped into place. And then you can override it. So if you're thinking, actually, I want this satin stitch to be wider, it will tell me if I can't go any wider than a 7, I can go narrower. And can I go longer? Yeah, I can go longer. So you can alter it and it will do that noise like this if you can't go any further. So it won't let you do anything that you're not allowed to do. If you want to go back to the default setting, click 0 and it will take you back to your straight stitch. So they're the 2 flashcards, 4 flashcards, modes 1 and mode 2. An exciting addition to the 570. No flashcards, but because it's got an A, it has an alphabeat. This is a game changer for me. Normally when you're looking at monogramming, or it's not an embroidery machine, it's a sewing machine, but if you're starting to think about doing monogramming, you jump up in price, quite a big jump as well normally. This one, you've obviously got your numbers as well, 1 to 9 and your 0. So you've got your numbers and all of your letters. You also then have these really, really cool little icons. So you've got a heart, you've got a star, you've got a music note, an at, an and space, all of your brackets and things like that. These ones at the end, they're spaces. So if you want to do a little space, a larger space or a bigger space, then that's the one to add in. You also have here some beautiful pictorial stitches, and that one at 99 is your locking stitch. So at the end of your pictorial stitch, if you put in 99, then it will always lock at the end, doing your locking stitch. And you can actually pick multiple stitches in a row. Maybe you want a spool, then a pair of scissors, then a spool, then a pair of scissors, then a cat. Or, you know, if you want to make up your own stitch sequences, you can do it because it also has a memory, which is a new addition for the 570A. So it's got the memory button here. It also has this button, which is a memory thread cutter. So if you're doing lots of stitching where you know that you want to cut your thread at the end of it, instead of having to press this button, which is very easy and convenient here, it will also remember to do it for you. Press it, it will light up on your screen. You can see that it's engaged, so you don't need to guess, oh, is it on, is it off? You'll see if it's there. Turn it off by simply cutting it again, by simply pressing it again. So you've then got your C button, your mode button, which we've covered. You've got your like speed dial buttons are your stitches. So you've got your straight stitch. You've got number 7, which is your zigzag stitch. You've got number 15, and you've also got number 20, which is a buttonhole stitch. As I say, you can override your stitch width and stitch length with your plus and minus. You can jump between your stitches with your arrows. You've got your variable speed control. If you want to slow it down or speed it up, you've got the lever here at the front. You can do that whilst you're sewing. Your thread cutter, absolutely revolutionary. It really, really does make a tremendous difference when you're sewing. You needle down again, stopping you from having to hand crank at each point. It will stop with your needle down. Brilliant if you're readjusting your fabrics. Locking stitch, reverse stitch, and your start and stop. So you can use this with or without a foot pedal. It tells me now my foot pedal is plugged in. So you do have to, obviously, if you do want to use that, remove your foot pedal and then you can start sewing with it. Depending on, you know, I know a lot of people learn to sew with a foot pedal. A lot of these modern machines have start buttons. So it depends on what you prefer. Or if you're maybe getting children sewing, or if you start to have any problems with your feet and you don't want to use a foot pedal, it's really handy to have that. Easy to thread up, as we said. It's got a storage box at the front, and it does also have a free arm. And as I say, as an extension table, comes as standard. It is £599 today. We launched this back in February. It sold out in one day. We had plenty of stock, I thought, to last us, you know, the months. But obviously with what's happened in the world over the last few months, we haven't been able to get it back. It literally arrived into the system 2 days ago, and so many have already gone, to the point that we are less than 10 available. And once they go, I really do not know when we will be able to bring them back. The instructions are brilliant, but also Elna have a fantastic customer service department, which are based here in the UK. They're always there at the end of the phone if you do want to ask them any questions. You get a 2-year warranty from Elna, through Elna, which you can extend to 5 years if you'd like for an additional cost. But at this price, I would seriously have a think about it. I love the fact that through your instruction manual, it will really talk you through, for example, your blind hemming. Quite difficult to do sometimes. So it will talk you through exactly how it is that you do it, how to adjust the needle drop position, how to do all of your gathering, decorative stitches. It's got fantastic, fantastic instructions as well. So they will come with your machine. Right. I would sit and talk about this, honestly, for the next hour. But if you've got any questions about it, I would please message in. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, big or small. Let us know. It's studio@sewingstreet.com. studio@sewingstreet.com if you want to email in. Or, of course, we're always there watching our Facebook page. There's always somebody who's who will be able to, of course, access the Facebook. It's Sewing Street TV. So if we come off air from 12 o'clock, it's probably best to Facebook. But Liam's up in the gallery watching the emails. Now, books galore. Not just any books. Debbie Shaw books. Right. I've got bundles of books. So this one, we got a 3 for 2. Thank you, Debbie. I'm sure that she has approved this. I'm hoping she's approved this. Saving £9.99. Those of you that love our Debbie Shaw, I'm not just being biased, but she's the best. She really is. She's fantastic with instructions. She's brilliant at offering you fantastic variety. So, I mean, Debbie's done how many books? 30 books? 23 books, kept saying. She's renowned for bags and purses, and the fact that we've got so many different ideas here. In this book alone, you've got 12 different bag ideas. Talks you through which ones you've got. It will talk you through complete beginner tips, your sewing kit, things that you're going to need before you start, things you'll need, cutting in curves, cutting corners, fabric strips, how to do bias binding, clasps, letterbox pockets. So I'll talk you through all the techniques that are used throughout the book. Once you've sort of got the grasp of those, you're going to be able to create all of these bags. And there's something for everybody, from a classic tassel bag, the purse to match. This is a nice beach bag, all decked out. Drawstring bags, see, they'd be lovely for like pyjama sleepover bags. Girl about town bag using wool. Purses to match, messenger bag. I like that they're doing purses to match as well. That's a really beautiful one, and it folds down your mini messenger bag. Working with different fabrics like PUs and wools and cottons, how to interface them. Your first class caddy. Oh, that's good, isn't it? That's the first time I've seen one of these bags in her book. To attach to your suitcase. Maybe 2021 planning a holiday. Who's that? Hello, Bob. Bob's messaged in. Oh, absolutely. Especially because you get the extension table. It is a smaller throat space than the 680, don't get me wrong. But if you are thinking of it for quilting, because of all the quilting stitches that you get, because it does still give you, obviously, the extension table, you have even more space. Maybe if you're rolling your quilt, or if you're just sort of moving it over to the side, then I don't see it would be a problem Absolutely, absolutely. You could quilt on this. It's brilliant. It's a very versatile machine, you know, actually. I think if you are one of these people that tend to do a bit of bag making, do a bit of quilting, do some dressmaking, make cushions or curtains or home furnishings, I think this is a great one to sort of mix your mediums and go between all skills. Thank you for your question. If there's any more, Bob, then let us know. I can find out if you want, or Liam might be able to find out whilst we're talking about the books, the actual size of the throat space, if that's all right. We'll have a look. Thank you. So back to the Debbie Shaw books. So this is just the one book. Remember, you're getting all 3 books. I could measure it, couldn't I, with the tape measure? So you get about time. All of your templates are at the back of the book. You also have your vintage. This is lovely. Really lovely. So you've got cushions, you've got your posy comb, which we just saw, your jar wraps. I think we're all starting to think about sustainability a bit more and thinking about, upcycling and reusing and making something that's made to last. These would be beautiful for gifts for people. Like having a posy cone, instead of a vase or something, you could just have your nice little... I love dried flowers. I think they look really beautiful. Look, like your cow parsley. Pardon? Oh, you still need to send me a picture of it. Kat said, I've got a bouquet of dried flowers. It was my wedding bouquet. Kat caught it. Liam's still not proposed though, has he? Oh, she wrestled all the other girls to the ground to grab that bouquet. Your tray mat. I bet Joe was there trying to wrestle his sister to the ground. Bucket bag. Tissue cover box. These are made lovely gifts for somebody. A notebook cover, maybe in Liberty. Ooh la la. I had one of these made for me for my wedding day, for a wedding gift, and there's a clip of with a photograph on it. Lovely Wendy made for me. Dressing table mat, that's good. So I definitely need one of those. Glasses cases, peg bag. There's some beautiful projects in here and all with that sort of shabby chic vintage feel to it. How about a vintage Christmas stocking? That's nice. Little cottages, tea cosy, cake frill, repair kit. See, honestly, Debbie is so creative. And I must say, all of her instructions, if you've never sewn before, these are great to get your sewing mojo going. There's so much inspiration in here. Really useful projects as well. Really useful projects, things that you are going to use. So, for example, like your pumpkin pillow. That's lovely, isn't it? Little lavender hearts, great gift ideas for people. Your coffee cozy, oven mitts. Apron, so that's all designed for the kitchen, the bedroom. It's sectioned into all different rooms in the home. I love that. But the great thing, as I was going to say about Debbie, is that she doesn't use jargon. If it's supposed to be right sides together, she will write right sides together. She won't abbreviate and put RST. She won't use strange jargon. She will explain it really clearly and really thoroughly. So if you're buying these for anybody who is sewing maybe for the first time, getting into sewing, you could keep one for yourself or keep a couple for yourself, and then you get one for free. That's a nice gift, isn't it? Remember, they're all supposed to be, well, it says, yeah, they're all $9.99 each. You're saving £10 on that one. So it's definitely worth making the most of the bundle. Thank you, Debbie, for that. We love your books. I've also got the other 3, which are gifts, Christmas, and half-yard kids. So let's go through the Christmas. All of your templates are at the back. Again, it's 3 for the price of 2. Using ribbons, using fabrics for your tree placemats. As I say, reusing things. Look, paper bagged favours that you can put onto a little tree with, like a homemade advent calendar. Santa hats. I do like the idea of having things that you've made to gift for people this year. We've got a bit more time, haven't we, than we normally would have. So there your monochrome. You've got Christmas tree skirt, wreath pillow cover, gift bags, decorations. They're your traditional section. This is like your, yeah, Scandi Christmas, hanging hearts. I do like this tree skirt. And then you've also got some more, again, shabby chic designs, your present set, candle holders, bunting, advent calendar. Price per project is fantastic. Once again, you are getting all, how many projects? 30 projects. 30 projects for just £21.98. Remember, you've got 30 projects in here, you've got 22 projects in here and 20 in here. So 50, 60, 72 projects in total. Tablet case, door tidy, wallet. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Cupcake oven mitt. Come up with so many different designs. Yeah, I'll measure the throat space for you. Okay, Liam's saying 170 millimetres. I will have a measure for you, Barb. Oh, this is cool. Cactus pincushion, I like that. All of your templates as well are in the back of the books. And then children's makes. I'll see if the tape measure's down here, Kat. Cushions, toys. This is so adorable. Pillow pal. I recognise this, do you? I feel like she did this on this morning. Patchwork ball, hot water bottle cover. These are adorable. So, all of those available again with a saving of £10. 3 books for the price of 2. Right, let's measure this for Barb, sorry. So, Barb, from the needle across, let me take the side off. So we've got, it is about 7 inches. 7 inches from the needle to here, 11 inches across. Let me turn that around so you can see. That's 11 inches here, 7 inches to the needle, which is, in centimetres, 17.5. 17.5 centimetres. Hope that's good, Jill. Let us know what you think. Barb, why do I keep calling you Jill? Who's Jill? Who's Jill? Jill, if you're watching, I'm just letting you know as well. Okay, should we do some fabrics? Also, warning on the early bird. We started with the early bird at 8 o'clock this morning. Lots of people checking out on the double freezer paper bundle. Brilliant value for money on that one. Let's go. Liberty. Right, this one. Do you need me to tell you the name of the code? It won't help you. This is Liberty with purple. Yeah, there aren't too many to figure out, are they? Do you want me to do it over the top? There you go. 1/2 metre of Liberty, 1/2 metre of your lilac, and 1/2 metre, just to remind you, is 112 wide. We're starting with the one that's not on the website. You need to, I think you need to search the code with this one potentially. This is how wide. It is 112 wide. That is beautiful. I must say, with Liberty fabrics like this, if you've got any of Debbie's books, just 1/2 metre of this and 1/2 metre of your purple, you are going to be able to make so much. Thank you, Kat. And you're then getting your complementary lavender as well, which is beautiful. So this is Yorkshire Meadow, 1/2 metre of lavender that goes so perfectly with it. Just £10.49 for your bundle. 2 1/2 metre pre-cuts. If you're multi-buying on it, it will come already pre-cut. Just as a reminder. But all of these collections of Liberty now are extremely limited by the 1/2 metre. We often say, why not team it with a solid? And actually, I would I probably wouldn't have guessed to put it with lavender, and it works so well, because I always tend to go, right, I'd go blue, yellow or pink or something, but actually it goes so well with your lavender, doesn't it? Is this one called lavender on the website, do you know, or is this called amethyst? I think it's lavender, just so if you do want more of this to go with your Liberty, it's £10.49. It is called lavender. That one's called lavender. So if you do want to go to the web shop and buy more of your lavender potentially, I mean, it's going to go such a long way. What about doing a lovely tote bag and your lining could be with the lavender? Be beautiful. This one, again, Liberty. I would absolutely think that is spot on in terms of contrasting. And when I say contrasting, complementing. And it just lets your Liberty fabric sing if you're doing a plique, if you're using this as a cushion and you want to do the blue as your binding maybe, or just using snippets of Liberty with things like pin cushions and using the bottom as your contrast colour, your complementary colour. They're going to go so well together. So 1/2 metre of your Malvern Meadow, that is beautiful. And then you've also got 1/2 metre of, what is it called, Liam? Cyan, 1/2 metre of cyan. You used to have a girlfriend called Cyan? Called Cyan? Or was she called Sian? She was called Cyan, S-I-A-N. Ah, that's unusual, isn't it? Isn't that normally Sian, Cyan? Right, this is lovely. That does look beautiful. Those colours together are amazing, aren't they? If you want to maybe have a go at doing some of the log cabins as well, this is a great bundle to do some of your log cabins with. Beautiful. I've got another Liberty. I'm going to stick with my Liberties. Again with magenta. I love this print, and I think I've seen this in little Liberty toiletry bags or makeup bags, or you could make notebook covers. There's so much in the books that we had with Debbie Shaw actually that would look perfect with this. £10.49, 1/2 metre of each colour. This is 1/2 metre of Liberty Hide Floral, and then you've also got I think, is it this one that you're looking at now? I'll show you this and then we'll bring in the right graphics for the other one. So the ones that you can see now, which is Hide Floral, is this one. That's Hide Floral with raspberry. That's lovely as well, isn't it? That's got gorgeous peaches in. It's just textbook Liberty. It's exactly sort of what you expect to see, those small floral prints. And they're all outlined to really give you great depth. Nice ditzy print. Nice little ditzy print. £10.49, 1/2 metre of this one. And then you also get your complimentary, you get your complimentary raspberry to go with. I mean, even if you were to just see snippets of the raspberry, it's going to mean that this one goes a lot further, isn't it? If you know what I mean. That's beautiful. They go so well together. 1/2 metre of your raspberry and 1/2 metre of your floral. Just so you're aware, they are quilting weight cotton. And what I mean by that is that it's slightly heavier weight than if you were to, say, be looking at the lawn. So Tana Lawn is quite a popular Liberty fabric that I know you will have seen before. Whereas these are slightly sort of heavier weight, absolutely fine still for projects other than quilting, but they are ideal for patchwork and quilting. You can still make great bags with them, and they'll have a bit more structure than if you were to use the Tana Lawn. Still maybe have a look at getting an interfacing, whether it be H640 or your Starville foam, but they'll be lovely for bags. Right, so that's £10.49 for your raspberry bundle. We've got the roses. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. This is the one that we just missed out on a minute ago. It's with beautiful bright yellow flowers. It's the only one that's quite like this. So this is Suffolk Fields with 1/2 metre. Oh, this isn't Suffolk Fields, is it? Do you want me to tell you the code of this top one? It's GEYV53. GEYV53. I don't know whether it is available by the half metre. I don't know whether it's just all been bundled into here, but that was just for Liam. What's this one called? This is Miami. Sorry about that. This is Miami, and it is mixed with Mammy. Sorry, this is Mammy, and it's mixed with raspberry. No, it's not. Can't be. Well, what was that one called? Right, that one's raspberry. This is magenta. That's magenta. Sorry, I didn't mean to be... Liam, no, it's not. Don't lie to me. Half a metre of Mammy. Half a metre. It's because we were so organised this morning, wasn't it? We were so crazily organised this morning. I knew it would go wrong. The roses one. Ascot roses, and it's with misty blue. Ascot roses, misty blue, beautiful colour combination on these. £10.49. They go so well together. It's another combination. I love this colour. I absolutely love misty blue, and I would never have thought to put it with Ascot rose, and it works really, really well. This is what I love about our team that put together the bundles. Isn't it gorgeous? £10.49. It works so well. £10.49 for, remember, half a metre of Liberty. This is official Liberty London fabric, and it's beautiful quality. Please don't get me wrong though, the quality of our solids as well. It's Rose and Hubble, it's beautiful quilting weight, 100% cotton. They will work perfectly together, but it will just mean that your Liberty can sing and it will complement perfectly. £10.49 for this bundle. This is Kat's favourite combo. How cool is this? They're almost like quite clashy colours actually. I'm going to open it out so you can see this mottle effect. It's beautiful. Can you see? It's not a solid colour. It's got like a mottle effect to it, which is beautiful. And then with the blue, what do you think? Now this is quite bold, don't get me wrong. Lots of the ones that they've done complete complementary colours. Whereas I love this. I think this goes so well. Look at that. Real bright contrast. Your beautiful half a metre of your Emily silhouette. And then you've also got half a metre of your mottle, which is in orange. £10.99. It's called Tangerine. That one's Tangerine. Isn't it beautiful? I do love the Emily silhouette as well. That's always been very, 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 very popular indeed. It's gorgeous, isn't it? That shadow sort of effect as well that you're getting, the complementary blues, but they look so beautiful. You've got the dark background. See what I mean? Just £10, 99.5 metre. What are you thinking of making? I think with Liberty, I would go small little projects, smaller projects, because I just think it's so special. Use it quite sparingly. You could make lots of projects with a metre of fabric like this. Abbey Wood. Abbey Wood up next. Majority, by the way, of the fabrics from this Liberty range have all sold out now by the half metre. Putting them in bundles because I do think it's a great affordable way to try them out and see them for yourself. But if you do love any of them, absolutely stock up whilst you can. This is with white. Now this is quite, again, a stark contrast, but if you love the quilt behind me and you love that real bold look, this is beautiful. You could make a cushion, in fact, to go with the quilt that you've made that's behind me. It doesn't need to always be singing and dancing rainbows, but just having this lovely classic turquoise blue next to white. £10.49. Now we've already cut this into half a metre, but just as a reminder, if you go onto our web shop and type in 100% cotton, you'll be able to find all of our solid colours. So if you want to put it with something else, by all means, stock up. We were having this idea earlier on this morning at 8 o'clock when we were launching this quilt. We were saying, how awesome would that look as well with a black background? That looks so cool. And remember, you can purchase all of our solid fabrics on the web shop at any point. I do like it with white, obviously. You've got the white flowers within, but it is all about that lovely turquoise. Half a metre of your Liberty and half a metre of your white for just £10.49. I'm thinking of, again, smaller sort of projects. You could even put some lace round, maybe like little pin cushions or scissor keepers, smaller little purses. The lining could be white. It's always going to be very useful, isn't it? £10.49, complementing each other beautifully. Oh, I have to reach across. Let's do. I've got this bouquet. Is it Moda this time? We've got 3. Oh, is this Liberty? With pink. What colour is the complementary colour? With grey. Oh, we got loads still. We've left them on the trolley. I knew that we were so organised. Thank you. I will shimmy these across. Ah, there we go. That one. This one. This one. This was your favourite print as well, wasn't it? Thanks, Kat. We've got loads now. What's the time? We were like, oh, we've got plenty of time. Have a bit of chat about them all. We're now going to have to fly through. So you have half a metre of your grey bouquet. £10.49, half a metre of your Liberty bouquet. It says in pink, but it's like grey. It's the pink sort of flowers that you're getting here. And then you're also getting half a metre of grey. That's going to be beautiful. You can make whole cushion fronts with this, by the way. And bearing in mind how much it costs you to buy a Liberty cushion. Kat was saying, what is it, about 50 £50? I was like, and the rest. And she Googled it. And the first one that came up was £120, wasn't it? Paid a lot of money for Liberty cushions. They're beautiful, really, really are. Iconic, I suppose. You can speak to anybody who doesn't necessarily know quilt designers or doesn't know the world of sewing, but they'll all know Liberty. They'll all know Liberty. So that's half a metre of each. You're getting a metre of fabric, £10.49. And then I think we've got 2 more Liberty bundles. This is Suffolk Fields, and this is with raspberry. Yes, £10.49. Suffolk Fields with raspberry. I'm sorry, Liam. Look at the detail. This is true Liberty, classic, but then sort of reinvented and brought back to life with these beautiful colours. Classic, classic, classic Liberty. And you'll be able to remember 100% machine washable. So you'll be able to wash this and still get that vibrant, beautiful yellow. Mixed with the raspberry, I think it still really draws on the beautiful pinks and the yellows, actually, making it really sing. £10.49. 2.5 metres. I've got one other Liberty. I've got this. This is the one I've got. Yeah, this one you've got Liberty and half a metre of amethyst to complement. It is absolutely identical to that colour. It's quite difficult on the web shop sometimes to try and match up the right colour of what you need by just seeing the little thumbnail pictures. I mean, you can hear us going, hang on, which colour's that and what's that with? Because the pictures that Liam's looking at upstairs on the screen are a lot smaller, whereas because our team have obviously got the fabrics in front of them, they've matched them up perfectly. Half a metre, you'll be fine. Half a metre of amethyst and half a metre of your Liberty. They're beautiful. I'll make sure they're not all mixed up together. Right. Now, I think we've done all of the Liberties. I think all of the Liberties is done. We've now got on to Moda. Just tidying myself up a bit so I know what I'm doing. There we go. So we're starting with this one, which is the same one that Sallieann was working with, actually. It was half a metre, very, very similar. She had a different background, creamier background. But if you loved that fabric that Sallieann was working with, from the same range, same print, just different colourway. Moda, again, those of you that are quilters are very renowned. You will have been familiar with this, with Moda and the quality of the fabrics they bring. They're beautiful, aren't they? So 1/2 metre of this, and then you've also got 1/2 metre of khaki. 1/2 metre of khaki, I think. £10.49. One job, Liam. Khaki. They're lovely butterflies, aren't they? Such beautiful detail with that lovely misty blue as well. This would look nice with misty blue. What do you think? Those three together would be really nice. Search the word misty blue on the website if you want to get a bit of this as well. That really stood out then. So that's your Moda. May Morris. How have we got any May Morris? The one with the misty blue. This is amazing that we've got any May Morris, literally down to the last few 1/2 metres of each of the colours. There's 16 left of these, that's it. They've all been pre-cut, ready to go in. And it is just one of the most beautiful collections. It looks nice with misty blue. Must say, misty blue goes with everything. But it's actually really adopting these colours, isn't it? It's almost like chameleoning into it. Because I would have said that this was more blue. But actually, seeing it next to misty blue, it looks exactly the same colour. I know this is called misty blue, but I always think of that as more of like a Frenchy grey, whereas this looks literally exactly the same. £10.49. When I say French grey, it's because, do you know the chalk paint, French grey? That's what it reminds me of. You know, like when you see lovely kitchens that are all been painted in that colour. It's called French grey normally, isn't it? Kat, you're making me question myself. 1/2 metre of misty blue and 1/2 metre of Moda May Morris. Pardon? I just love this vine design. And it sort of continues down. If I open this out, look, you can see. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It looks so different from a distance. It's really dramatic indeed. We've got it in a different colourway and it looks completely different. Just so you can see. Beautiful, both beautiful, just a matter of which you prefer. These two together, I think these are going to be great for gardening themed bits and bobs as well. 1/2 metre of Moda, 1/2 metre of solid, which is this time your grey. And there is such gorgeous detail. The vine designs that you can see running through, like we said with the last blue one. If I open it out. That's so cool, isn't it? It's all taken from, of course, when we're thinking about May Morris is actually William Morris's daughter. She was absolutely incredible. And those of you that get the chance ever to go to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, the V&A Museum, Moda actually teamed up with the V&A Museum to be able to put together this collection from May Morris and do a bit of a research into her because she's phenomenal. And I think she was kind of overshadowed by her father's fame. She was actually the head of the embroidery department of Morris & Co. at the age of 23. She was such an incredible artist and teacher, designer, obviously embroiderer, and a really, really incredible woman actually. So please do have a bit of a research into May Morris. Those of you that have seen Morris & Co. fabrics, quite often I'll just say, oh, I love that, it's William Morris, whereas actually it could have been May Morris that designed it. It's, of course, Morris & Co. is the collective of which May Morris was in, and these are May Morris prints. They're beautiful from the V&A Museum. Okay, and brought back to life, really. I just love the fact that we can all be working with this fabric and spread the word of May Morris because she's amazing. We've got the Stars and Stripes. This is the Mackinac, I think I'm pronouncing it right. I'll know when I see it. Mackinac, yes, the Mackinac Island from Moda. So this is your print from Moda, and then you've also got your red solid. Can't go wrong. I think like storage tubs, children's room. You know when you're looking through, don't get me wrong, it's designer fabric. It's really fancy. But if you're looking through some of these, imagine doing like this rucksack bag with these two colour combinations. That would look amazing. You could do like little storage tubs. You could do, look like a craft easel with these. It'd look brilliant. Lots of inspiration in Debbie's books. Remember, you're getting one of those for free. 1/2 metre of your Moda. And this isn't a dot. That's actually a star. Tiny, tiny, tiny little star. So you've got the stripes with the stars, and then as you come closer, you'll see that they're actually just tiny little stars. There you go. Cool, isn't it? Great detail. Attention to detail from Moda. Shows you the quality, doesn't it? That won't bleed at all. That is real quality fabric. Just £10.49. Works very well, obviously, with the red, doesn't it? Right, I've got beautiful chartreuse and Moda floral. This time with like beautiful peaches and corals. This is from the Canning Days range, which as soon as we launched, it completely sold out in the layer cake, in the charm packs. They were all really, really popular. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's got a real fresh feel to it. If you want to do some lovely sunshine projects for your conservatory. When I say sunshine projects, I just mean nice floral projects. £10.49. Again, brilliant price point when you're looking at half a metre of designer and half a metre of solid. Great bundles, aren't they? Really beautiful bundles. This one, again, would be really pretty for, well, all sorts of projects. Remember, you can use your quilting weight for not only patchwork, you can use it for bag making, you could use it for small, what about little children's clothes? I know that they're half metre piece, but if you're multi-buying, they will come already cut, but I'm thinking a small project you'll be all right with. Let me show you what half a metre looks like. So if you are cutting out your pattern pieces, then you can see how much half a metre is. It's a lot of fabric, isn't it? A lot more than you think when you see them all folded up. It's quite deceiving. They're not fat quarters, they're half metres, £10.49. And those of you that are multi-buying, they will already come pre-cut, but you'll only pay one postage and packaging. Oh, I love the salvage on this. It says, plant kindness and gather love. It's nice, isn't it? Nice little saying. This is cool. This is pomegranate. I mean, you could really play around with this, and it's up to you what you do. Don't get me wrong. We are not forcing you into saying, right, you must use this with this fabric. You must use this with this. You could use it with all sorts. You could split them up. You can use them separately. They're both great fabrics for your stash. This would look lovely with creams, or it would look lovely with vanilla. It would look great with any of your reds, or, I mean, there's a great array of colours in this, actually. Putting it with fuchsia, wow, it just makes it really bright and vibrant, doesn't it? From Moda again, remember this is your half metre of Moda, half a metre of Moda, and then you're also going to get half a metre of fuchsia. There's always, if you have a look on the web shop, lots of different solids that are available. Always, if we sell out of any of them, we'll have them on reorder, so don't worry, but do make sure you stock up. If you've ordered anything today, I always say this, it's worth just having a bit of a scroll through, looking through on the website, because obviously we're only live for 4 hours. So of course you can go to the web shop and have a look what is available on there. If you go to www.sewingstreet.com, it will redirect you to Jewellery Maker, don't worry, that's our page. Scroll down, past the Watch Live page, I feel like I'm the advert. Then you can sign up for our newsletter. You can see all of the items from today's show. I wouldn't be surprised if when I look this evening that's gone. There's less than 10 chances to get the Elna. All of the overlockers, freezer papers, our early bird special today, saving you £2. So all of the products in today's show are listed underneath. Then, Kat, if you go back up to the top, you've got the search bar there. So I'm just thinking, if you do want any of the fabrics, for example, if you type in 100% cotton, I'm thinking if you want to add some black to your order for on the background of the quilt behind me, these are all of your 100% cottons. They're £3.49. So these are all of the different colours, different greys, light grey, pink, dark grey, beige, crimson, red. All of them are available by the half metre. I know we don't get a chance to show you them all. But if you do want to make the most of any of those, there's pages and pages of just your 100% cotton fabrics. And they're gorgeous, aren't they? That emerald's a lovely colour. So have a bit of a search through. If you've bought anything already, you may as well top up your order at £3.49 if you have already checked out your stash. Okay. I've got your teal and tonal blue. So you've got 1/2 metre of your Moda, and again, this doesn't have a solid teal colour. It has a bit of an antique look to it. So those of you that got the book, the Antiques or Rusticy book from Debbie Shaw, these would be lovely for all of those projects. 10.49, that's 1/2 metre. You can see that it's got almost like shadowed. It's not because it's shadowing, it's literally the effect in the fabric. It's really beautiful. It's like a mottled effect. And then you've also got beautiful floral print there running through. Little rosebud. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Albert Einstein, that's a quote on the salvage of this one. I really love that Moda always do those little finishing touches. Nice little quotes and sayings. So that's 1/2 metre of this, and this time we've teamed it with, is this Cadet Blue, Cat? 1/2 metre of Cadet Blue. Hang on, let's just check we've got the right graphics. Oh, there you go, sorry. It's the Rosebud on light blue with your Cadet Blue. With Cadet Blue. Yeah, all available for £10.49. The other one, I'm looking around the table and I don't think we've got it. No, I don't think we have. We had that misty blue one. That's the only other one that I've seen. No, ever so sorry. No, haven't got it. Have a look on the web shop though, because there are a few other bundles on there that haven't arrived to us here in the studio, but they'll be on the web, so you'll be able to make the most of them. Okay, right. So do make the most of it. I just want to remind everybody, as we are nearing up on selling out of the 570A, it's the first time that we've sort of done really anything like this. This is £100 lower than where I've seen it elsewhere. It's normally £699. So, I mean, we're not saying that it's £100 lower. We're just saying that is our price. But today we're giving it away with £40 worth of goodies almost, £38.95 worth of goodies, including fabrics, snips, bobbins, all of your standard accessories already that come as standard. For example, all your different feet. Your extension table, you get all of these stitches, 380 stitches. It's great that you've got the little chart on the side that you can literally just pull them out, have a look at which stitch you want, whether it be a utility stitch, a satin stitch, a quilting stitch. There's some really cool quilting stitches there. Applique stitches, satin stitches, lovely hearts and vines, beautiful designs. And then you've also got some great pictorial stitches as well. So even though this isn't an embroidery machine, you absolutely have that element of doing these lovely pictures. And also, there's an extra mode. Click across to A, and that is your alphabet. So you've got numbers and 2 alphabets on there. So if you do want to do personalisation and monogramming, great chance to personalise. Ellen's messaging asking about the space, the throat space on this machine. It is smaller than your 680. It's a smaller, more portable machine, but it's absolutely big enough space to be able to quilt with it, especially now you've got your extension table as well. It's 7 inches from the needle to the end of the machine. It's 11 inches all the way across. Has a free arm, extension table, all of your goodies and gadgets that come as standard, like your zipper foot, your buttonhole foot, your overedge foot, your blind hem foot, all included. Plus, of course, the all-important snippy button, your thread cutter. That is a new addition for the 570A. It also is a new addition that you have a memory button on that feature. So if you do want to memorize at the end of the stitch that you're going to cut your thread, you can simply press that button. It will come up on the top of your screen that you've selected it, and at the end of your stitch sequence it will cut your thread. You can memorize that, which is brilliant. It also has your quick reference points of different useful stitches, as well as all of the other buttons that you probably have seen before on an Elna machine, like your needle up down, lock and stitch, reverse, start, stop, needle threader, and all of the other amazing features. There's too much to go through in one sitting. But if you do have any questions about it, please do message on Facebook. It's Sewing Street TV, and our Hayley Bryant, who is our lovely marketing manager, she'll be able to get back to you. Brilliant price, and this will go, I'm confident, by the end of today. So have a serious think about it. I'll let you know tomorrow anyway. I'm back with you tomorrow morning, so if there's any available, I'll let you know. I'm not here to rush or pressure you by any means, but we've waited months to get this machine back in, and it was all kind of by surprise that we've got it back, which is brilliant. So I'm back with you tomorrow. We've got a brilliant day, a really lovely day tomorrow. We've got Wendy Orlando. I've not seen her for so long. Oh, that's going to be absolute bags of fun. We're going to have a great laugh with Wendy. Cushions from New York Beauties and Flying Geese with Wendy. At 9 o'clock, we've got quilting supplies. 10 o'clock, Wendy's going to be back with me with Pan Protector. At 11 o'clock, we're going to have Rainbow Brights. If you loved the fabric behind me, you'll love that show at 11 o'clock. And then Sallieann's quilt that I just mentioned is actually going to be repeated tomorrow at 12 o'clock. The next hour, stay tuned. You are going to be able to watch a repeat of yesterday's show, which was Debbie Shaw. You'll have a whole hour demo to enjoy if you missed yesterday's show, before we hand over to our sister channel, Jewellery Maker, where you'll find me again. So if you haven't had enough of me, you can tune over to Jewellery Maker and you'll see me there. If not, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. See you then.